schools. Applications for education service providers are now open for the 2025-26 school year. Family applications start on January 2nd. The program prioritizes students with special needs and dependents of active duty military service members. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Alabama Unfiltered Radio, and when I need the news and I need it fast, I turn to Andrea Tice and the Daily Detail. On my way in, it is the most convenient, best way for me to digest what's going on so that I can use it for our show. She tells you what's going on in Alabama that day first and fast. So listen to the Daily Detail with Andrea Tice. Don't miss out.
The Daily Detail is available wherever podcasts are found.
A teacher at Summerdale School in Baldwin County expressed frustration over challenges posed by an increasing number of English language learners in her classroom. She said it affects both teachers and students. With 5 non-English speaking students in her class, she highlighted communication barriers, behavioral issues, and a lack of resources. The teacher also mentioned how English-speaking students are often pulled into serving as translators, which hinders their own learning. The teacher said she feels overwhelmed and that more needs to be done to support educators and students. I'm Katie Hyde in for Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. For years, I've been asking you to call me at Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. When you call Alabama Home Mortgage, from the moment we pick up the phone, you will hear the difference. We are passionate about what we do. To us, you're not just another applicant. When you call on us, you are trusting that we have your best interest at heart, and we do. We treat our customers like family, and that's why our customers turn into family, coming back to us time and time again. We know you have many options when it comes to mortgage financing, and we appreciate the opportunity to earn your business. We are excited to hear from you. Give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time. Our passion is just one difference that sets us apart from the rest. It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-368, Equal Housing Lender.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-367-6289. 800-367-6289. 800-367-6289.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
This is a Trump country. We live in the Southeast. We drink sweet tea. We don't drink socialist Kool-Aid.
After damning politicians uphill and down dale for many years as rogues, vagabonds, frauds, and scoundrels, I sometimes suspected, like everyone else, I often expect too much of them.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into the program here on a lovely Friday out of Montgomery, Alabama. A lot to get to today. From the Tesla reveal of the cyber cab and their bus and their Optimus humanoid robots, to Tim Walz being called out by, of all people, Michael Strahan in an interview, Kamala using a teleprompter during a town hall, and Obama stepping in, appealing to black voters, well, appealing to their race. And Herschel Walker's calling out Obama now for doing that. Plus, we've got plenty in terms of Trump and the latest trends in the presidential race, as well as a 4-part series by Reuters I was reading into today. Here's the 4th part that I read just this morning. Sex Bomb, the collateral damage of OnlyFans' explosive success. Then you could, as you look at just society in general, we're deeply troubled as a people, as a society. But I have a problem with, and I'll just start here, whether it's you're addicted to something like OnlyFans or you're addicted to Mickey D's. Like, Mickey D's didn't make you fat. The spoon didn't make you fat.
Why are you eyeballing me?
I'm not eyeballing you at all.
Like you eyeballing me?
I'm not. I'm just saying.
I never blamed Mickey D's once.
But first, how y'all doing today? Craig Monger's here in the studio with Eddie and I.
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Yeah, like life's all right.
Doing real good till the old fat shaming after you just saw me eat a big old pizza there.
I wasn't fat shaming you. I'm saying that you're fat because of you.
Yeah, I agree.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not shaming you. I'm just telling you the truth.
You wouldn't believe the amount of food I ate this past Saturday.
Really?
Yeah.
It was insane.
See, when you eat. I've been there.
Yeah, Craig eats.
There's a science behind it, and it works.
Yeah,
I'm still.
I still
lose body fat when I do this, but yeah, it was like let me just put it this way: the final meal of the day was I don't know, is it a half gallon that ice cream comes in?
Ooh.
Yeah,
like a whole. I can't remember the pint. No, pints are the smaller one.
Yeah.
So it was, but it was a gallon. But it was frozen. It was frozen yogurt. So vanilla frozen yogurt and an entire, the off-brand family-sized bags of cinnamon, like the off-brand cinnamon toast crunch.
Yeah, I have some on my refrigerator right now.
That was it.
Yep.
Right. So I put the cinnamon toast crunch in the ice cream and ate it up.
They got a s'mores one too, which is delicious.
Apparently they have like cinnamon, it's like apple cinnamon toast crunch now. So it's like almost like an Applejack cinnamut toast crunch mix. Ooh. Apparently it's limited edition. I haven't been able to find it.
Do you have like those big Tupperware things so you have the freshest cereal?
No.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I buy the bag. See, I don't keep cereal in the house. I buy the box or bag and I eat it that day. That's smart.
I used to be that way. I used to drink literally a gallon of milk every 3 days from mostly cereal consumption.
Mm-hmm.
But as I've gotten older and lactose intolerant, I've had to slow down.
So I don't know. I'm not fat shaming you, Eddie. And I don't know exactly where to go because it's Friday. So if you want to call in 272-9228 and go wherever you like within reason, you can. And I just want to read some headlines here. There's extra ones I have. It's not just because I don't want to jump right into the OnlyFans depravity, which these stories Reuters came up with are very depraved. But again, I'm kind of like, wait, how did that guy doing that thing with his pit bull think he was probably going to do that? I'll start with this. I learned today reading this story, all states in the union, including the District of Columbia, have criminalized bestiality except for one. Who is that one? I already told Eddie, so you can't answer.
I won't answer because
except for one animal.
No, one state.
One state.
Oh,
we've all criminalized it, not Michigan. But you can do it with that one animal.
Yeah.
Like
everything but.
That's what I thought. I was about to say.
Bit me one time. Ever since then, do whatever you want with them.
Now, if a man wants to marry a little mule,
what's wrong with it?
See, I want to say California because they're all wackadoos, but I'm trying to think of like,
and it's not Alabama.
Farming countries, like our farming states. Mm-hmm. Like, is it like Wyoming?
No.
Okay, I give up then.
West Virginia,
of course.
Surprise?
It makes sense.
Not
it makes too much sense once you hear it. Yeah, it's pretty bad. So there's a lot of depraved stories, but I walk away from it going, I think those are depraved people. It's like blaming some McDonald's for somebody eating there 4 or 5 times a day.
Yeah, that John Denver really didn't see that one coming.
Country road, take me home. Also, help, my house is surrounded by 100 raccoons. That's a headline.
I think I've seen that on a TikTok.
Yeah, and it's a 911 call that was made, apparently. We'll have to get to that. Costco gold bars flying off shelves.
Yep.
Costco sells gold bars?
Gold bars and silver bars.
Did they have them here in Montgomery?
I don't know, because every time you see
Well, they're
that story,
flying
they're
off the
sold out.
shelves,
It's
yeah.
sold out, yeah.
Well, going back to the previous story, are we sure that they properly enunciated the raw part of that? Because they could have just been a real big racist.
No, I think there are photos to.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's okay. All right. I just making sure maybe the
They had the
911
mix.
operator misheard. It would be horrible. You shouldn't say things like that, but like,
But you can see it.
you can see it. You
Yeah.
can see someone saying that on the 911 call.
It's a 911 call from Jimmy the Greek.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Oh, man. Now, also, in more serious news, Barack Obama has stepped in.
Yeah.
And because black support for Kamala is waning, and they're really worried, and he's like, I'll play the clip in a little while, but he's sounding the alarm as black voters abandon Harris.
I have a question about that.
And he's appealing directly to their race.
Right. But it doesn't matter if you're black or white.
Mm-hmm.
If you put up a candidate I don't like, don't try to make me feel guilty because of my race to vote for that candidate just because
Right.
they happen to be the same color as
Right.
me. That's as wrong can get.
Yeah.
If that's not a racially divided statement, I don't know what one is.
Well, and there's a nuanced way to think about it historically, but I agree with you.
Yeah.
I do not. Whenever I
One
get a
heavily
whiff of
outweighs
that
the other, yeah.
with folks like we white, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, go away.
Right.
Like we don't have anything in common. Like you like the same music as me. We go to the same church. Like we hold similar values.
But
Maybe we like
someone that
reading the same
brags
books.
about being the great, he brought the races together is what he claims.
good
He's the biggest divider of ever. And that statement right there should go down in history as yet another proof of that.
So we have a lot of different directions we could go today. We can get into all of it. First, let's go to Clark, who's been very patient. Hey, Clark, how
I'm
you
a fan
doing?
of your bars.
Me too. I do enjoy a good Clark bar. Hey, Clark.
Yes, this is Clark.
Hey, buddy.
You doing all right, sir?
We're
Yeah,
hanging
we're
in
doing
here.
great. How you doing?
I am putting along. Just snapping the last pair of gloves off, I hope. So, yeah, what does that mean? Anyway, so you're watching the polling, you're seeing how that's going,
Mhm.
and you're watching Miss Harris do her appearances that she didn't want to do, but now she has to do them because the internal poll is so bad. And at some point, you got to ask yourself, why is Kamala Harris their candidate? There's surely to goodness, you can't convince me that the Democrat powers that be did not have people that could foresee where we are now. Or
sure.
if they didn't, then I'm thinking they still think that they're capable of stealing this, and if they are, I don't know, we're done.
Oh, that last thing you said, absolutely. It would be a shock. It's why it needs to be a landslide, especially in the Electoral College. I think part of what happened is their first puppet, their first marionette, crapped his pants on national TV.
Literally.
So they're like, well, we got the old man, the dements across the line. So why not do it with Kamala? And we'll appeal to all the things. We'll make her a phenom like Barack Obama. I just think the new media world it's really working. Somebody did a breakdown of Trump's podcast appearances compared to Harris and the views, and he's dwarfing Harris. I think there's just something going on in the culture that's deconstructing and seeing through this crap.
My theory with Joe Biden is the powers that be looked at the internal polls on him, and that's why he did the debate.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
He had to go, and they had to have the base on board with him going. So they very rudely disabused the entire base that Joe Biden was capable of being their guy. Now the base desperately wants him gone and will accept whatever process they use. So you keep thinking, how does Kamala get to be the pick? And I got two possibilities here. One, I don't think Joe Biden was ever that bright, and I do think he is diminished in his mental capabilities.
Right.
But I think spiteful, vindictive, treachery, genius has always been his forte. Now, if he's in for a screw job from the Democrats, and probably Kamala had to be in on it because they probably had to threaten him with the 25th Amendment, and the vice president has to be the one to initiate that. So she probably was in on that. How does he get back at both the party and Kamala? Arrange for her to be the pick. That jams the party. And do you see any path for Kamala to have a political career after this campaign
No.
if she loses in the spot?
No. I think she's done.
Okay. So, a brilliant stroke by Joe Biden on his way out the door of pointless revenge is a possibility. The other possibility that I can come up with is the powers that be in the party recognize the inevitability of Trump, MAGA, the populist movement in the 2024 cycle. We're going to lose. Okay, if we're going to lose, what's the most advantageous position we can have? How can we make the most out of losing? Well, we could get rid of somebody. We could get somebody permanently off the slate. Let's get rid of Kamala. And those are the only two possibilities I can come up with, Mr. Clark. I don't know. Can you think of anything? You know, A, they think they can steal it. B, Joe Biden recognized that at some point they were going to get rid of him, and he came up with a plan for revenge. Or the party said, hey, this ain't our year. We'll get rid of somebody. Because, you know, how do you solve a problem like Kamala? That's all I can figure. And then they saddle her with Tim Walz, who, let's admit it. It's a matter of time. You give this guy enough time, it's a matter of time before he's telling us about his time in the Belgian Congo when he was with Commando 5 fighting the Zulus or something.
No, I think all three things you said are plausible, interesting theories. I've also heard reporting that it was actually Kamala herself that said, if you try to hop over me and say I have a broker convention, I'm going to make your life hell. And she had enough people in her camp, I think, to do it. I suspect it's at this point, maybe the losing thing, they've all bled together, so to speak. All your theories sort of blur and bleed together, and as they get closer to election day, they're like, all right, well, let's just leave her out to dry. But the way I'm seeing this mad dash with the press, they try to do her on Colbert, on Howard Stern, on the Call Her Daddy show, with Obama now stepping up and trying to get big rallies going on behalf of Kamala. I think they still want to win. And they've become shrill in their control. And the days before where they could really create a phenom, well, it's just not there. And at the end of the day, I think they're stuck. Like they don't plan everything out completely. It's kind of because it's done by committee behind the scenes. So I think.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think they're at odds. Different cliques have long been at odds with one another. And when Biden collapses and caves, I think they kind of went to war, came up with some truce. Okay, this is who we're going to back, and it's just not worked with 20-something days out.
Yeah, with what they're doing now, being as we're well into October and it's baseball playoffs, their starter was getting hit, and they're down a little bit. And they knew they didn't have a bullpen, but they went to it anyway. And now they're getting racked all over the ballpark.
Yep.
Or if it hadn't happened, it's fixing to, because more and more people see her, more and more people are turned off by her.
Well,
the whole deal is, we live in strange times.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. Well, I appreciate the call, Clark.
Y'all keep doing what you do. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Clark.
Yeah, it's, again, 272-9228 if you want to jump in wherever you want to go, 334-272-9228. Here's what we're talking about, or a lot of folks online talking about in the news, is Barack Obama making a direct appeal to black voters about getting behind Kamala. Let's listen in.
Communities is that we have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers. So if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all directly.
The brothers is, I think, what
Yeah,
he said.
the
All right.
brothers.
So let's hear what he has to say to the brothers.
And say that when you have a choice that is this clear, when on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes from those experiences. He said to work harder and do more and overcome and achieves the second highest office in the land.
Man, that's if that's the best he's got, and he'll probably do that in a much more high profile. I think a big speech in Pittsburgh coming up. Wow, it's bad though.
It's so bad. It's like she grew up like you did. She was eating jerk chicken and curry. She went to college. She's had every, the thing is, it would be objectively stupid if someone were to say that to a group of black men about, like, I don't know, the children of Colin Powell or something like that. It's like, it would be so transparently stupid, but it's like their ideology literally is skin deep.
Well, and here's the way I view this is that in the American experience and the black experience in America, and it's not just black Americans, you see this with other, say, ethnic groups, but it very much heightened in the black experience in America. There was clearly a need for solidarity on the basis of being black in order to gain full enfranchisement within the society. And to look out when you weren't fully enfranchised, to look out for one another. Because you were, in many ways, the scapegoat. And I think that solidarity did create a very strong political movement. But I think there are also a lot of people, especially younger people, who didn't, say, go through the civil rights era. They're not even close to it. They're, let's say, born in the 90s. They're born in the late 80s. They're born in the early aughts.
Yeah.
They're not even close to those days. They've seen the history. They know the MLK quotes. They respect, they'd probably talk to their folks, to their parents, to their family members about those times. And I think there's probably a lot of respect there. But at a certain point, I think people start realizing this appeal to solidarity on this basis, it's actually a way to manipulate me. So it's not like Donald Trump saying, I've had the same experiences as you in Alabama. No, he does the literal opposite. I love the uneducated. Like, he does these wink and nod, sarcastic things. Trump's appeal is he's authentically himself, and he's appealing to certain ideas that are going to be popular with the people. And in fact, Barack Obama, when he first wins in 2008, it wasn't just, we could have the first black president. That's there. But he had remember all these ideas of all the meetings will be open and transparent. And like, it sounded like this guy wanted to change the system fundamentally. Yeah, you look at also Barack Obama, or you look at somebody, Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton had the same ideas. Yeah. And also Obama, Clinton, and yes, Trump actually have charisma. Yep. They actually have energy that commands your attention, whether good or bad. And so I can imagine if you're, say, especially what they're having an issue with is the brothers, as he said. I think there are a lot of young black men who are looking at this going, okay, I respect the history, but I'm tired of the tricks. Solidarity with you doesn't mean I have to vote for this witch. Solidarity does not require me to have my wages continue to fall, real incomes continue to fall, more wars abroad, childcare through the roof, healthcare through the roof, not like all these problems that are practically and actually matter to people's lives. I don't give a damn about your experience. What are you actually going to do to fix the problem? So I wonder if they can pull it off. But I think the deal is she doesn't, at the end of the day, have the same charisma, that X factor, that a lot of past presidents have had, including Obama himself.
Yeah, winsome guy, terrific speaker, good diction, very erudite, very intelligent.
Yeah.
She is none of those things.
Oh.
And the fact that she's married to a white man might lead someone to believe the fact that there were not very many black suitors that found her tolerable, and those same black suitors don't find her tolerable to be the leader of the free world. Possibly.
Right.
It is a possibility. But then again, it is just an embarrassing ploy, and I think more and more people see it for how transparently stupid it is.
I sure hope so, man.
Because I think people are sick of that. Like, they are sick of the, okay, yeah, solidarity, woohoo, but eggs are $4 a dozen.
Right.
Like, so I'll throw on a Klan hood if I can get $1.50 eggs again. Like, I mean, this
You have some people think that.
Priorities. I mean, that's why she's losing so much momentum, because she doesn't talk to people where they are, but because she can't. She can't
relate.
She can't relate, but she also just can't articulate anything. Anything, no plan, no ideas.
You see it even in the softball interviews. She struggles in them.
And they have to edit her to make her sound coherent.
Right.
It's embarrassing. And the fact that you have someone like Obama, who, like, again, I mean, for all his ideological silliness, is an intelligent human being, it is embarrassing to see him hoe himself out for someone who's infinitely his worst.
I don't think it's him hoeing himself out. I think this was his pick. It's what Clark was getting at. I think Kamala, one of the people Kamala had backing her, was Barack Obama. I think Barack Obama and his people were the ones that were backing her early in the 2020 cycle.
Yeah.
Remember the old line when he's president, she's AG, the best looking AG in the country. I'm like, well, that's not that high of a bar, but so maybe he's right. But there was something there a long time ago where Barack Obama saw Kamala Harris as potentially the next person to carry the torch that the race he started. So it's...
We could have picked a lot of people better than her.
Right, but you look at... Who else do you got? Pete Buttigieg?
No, I mean, way back when.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I understand why. I guess it was that easy, but, man, there's a lot better choices out there. Even if you wanted someone of color, there's a lot better choices out there.
Yeah, I think Obama's one of the puppet masters. Let's say there are a few hundred puppet masters. He's one of them, and he's one of the more powerful ones, especially on the Democratic side of the aisle. So I think that sounds to me like a guy who's disappointed.
Yeah.
Like this is who he wanted. Here's the marionette. Nobody's liking the show. And I find it interesting if you go back to this appeal. It'll work on some folks because that whole history is very real. We sit here in Montgomery, Alabama. We don't need it fully explained. But time does change things.
Yeah.
And the practical consequences of a failing, rotting system caused by both Democrats and Republicans, people are tired of. So we'll see where it goes. But I just, I find sometimes also these appeals to everything is we have to be in solidarity because of racism. There's a Federalist story I saw earlier in the week that says Democrats claim public schools mostly run by Democrats are deeply racist. And honestly, you wrote about this. Super PAC just started up in Montgomery. I know for a fact it is Democrats, including many black Democrats. It is Republican conservative types who all agree that MPS is a mess, and part of it has to do with certain board members, but as well as other things. And like, I don't often hear in these parts, maybe I'm not listening enough, that the reason the schools suck is just because they're so racist. And it's like, no, you might hear we don't get enough funding. You might hear all these other things, but you're talking about schools that are majority black, not just the student body.
Yeah.
And you're talking about a city that's now majority black, including much of now its administration. So you can't use the same old thing. You might try, but again, people are going to start to wake up to, well, where are the results? I didn't vote for you at the end of the day because you're black. I voted for you to do a great job. And the cherry on top is that you are black and we could have a great, successful black president, black mayor, black governor, whatever. I can see why people would want that. Yeah, but it's like at the end of the day, it has to be the results. You just can't be a token that represents a solidarity that is passed in the sands of time.
But what kind of buy-in do I have as a person if I just simply vote for someone for their color? And what if it's dead wrong? Then again,
I think it's not a basis to make a decision. But think about all the different reasons people vote.
Agreed.
There's a lot of stupid reasons, and they're
I
just
agree.
as valid, actually, practically speaking, at the end of the day, as anybody who's a very informed voter.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think a lot of this has turned into a popularity contest.
Yeah, it is.
Especially with that, people don't see the seriousness of the president of the United States.
But the racial voting stuff, it's almost there's almost something a little bit grosser about that than all of the other silly reasons to vote for someone, because what you are saying in that is that my fellow man is so predictable that his skin color, by just simply being what it is sufficient for me to assume their ideological convictions. And I think that that's gross, because if you assume that because someone's white they think a certain way, or because they're black they're going to think a certain way, you cannot be a productive member of society and have that mentality. You just can't.
And also there is a classist thing to all this. And in fact, American racism always had a classist aspect to it. And think about it. Who's the one group you can really still make fun of on a racial basis? It's poor white people.
White people.
And what's fascinating is the shift away, say after civil rights, all this stuff, I think are good developments. But where does that negative energy go? Well, it goes to poor white people. Like all the stereotypes that used to be thrown at black people are now thrown, and it's a class thing. It's an elite looking down on a certain group of people and throwing all sorts of nasty things their way. So when Barack Obama says, she's just like you, she went to the same college as you, brothers. Like, wait, how many brothers went to Howard University? Really? Maybe some went to trade school, Barack. Maybe some other folks decided to go to state college.
Maybe Kamala put some of them in jail and they couldn't go to college.
Right. I think at the end of the day, it is a division within the Democratic Party. And it is an elite that has become more shrill as their tricks and the things they usually lean on don't work. Now,
we'll see.
Yeah. It's still 20-something days out. Maybe war in the Middle East changes everything, because who knows what's the next shoe to drop. Maybe Trump doesn't survive.
The
I don't
more
know.
difficult the world gets, the more people lean towards Trump.
Yeah.
Because, like it or
I think
not-
you're right about that.
Like it or not, she hasn't proven to be a very intelligent person.
Well,
Maybe
also,
she is, but she hasn't proven.
But also, you have to think, if you lean the Mike Lindell route about election interference and fraud, then they might not need her to be popular. It depends on how.
Yeah, but you got to have a certain threshold, or
Do you,
it's
though?
so unbelievable.
Well, I mean,
I would think so, Joey, but
And also, I think the main mechanism, if anything did happen last time, was the mass mail-out voting, the mass mail-out drop boxes. And right now, early voting is actually way down from 2020. So, and also Republican registration's way up in states like Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And you do have a lot of local people now in the conservative movement who are watching this stuff like a hawk. It depends on the state.
Agreed, but
whether it's Georgia or Arizona, I mean...
They're watching it. They watched it before.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
See, I don't
man.
think they
just-
were
I have
watching
that
it in the
faith.
same
I
way.
just don't
No,
have
I don't think they were
That's why
mobilizing.
you had the videos of people with dropping off boxes
Boxes.
of ballots
Yeah.
late
Mm.
night, and
Crappers overflowed. Everybody's got to go home. Man, that was.
Well, I mean, and this is the problem when you have the power of the state. Say we want to cheat, we're going to cheat. Well, what you going to do about it? That's bottom line.
Well, that's what they've given us here lately. Yeah. What you going to do about it?
Well, we
They've done
gotta-
things right in our face.
What you gonna do?
What you gonna do about it? It's
Yeah.
like when you pull up to the gas pump and it's going up $2 a gallon. What you gonna do about it? You got to get gas. What you gonna do?
Well, we got to hit a break here. All these folks on hold, stay on hold. We'll come right to you out of this break. If you want to get in, there's one spot available. It's 334-272-9228.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Looking for insurance, or maybe you're just not satisfied with your current carrier? How does quality coverage with local service and competitive rates sound to you? The folks at Stark Agency offer just that. Whether you need insurance for your business, car, home, or life, Stark Agency can help. As an independent insurance agency with over 20 of the top insurance carriers carriers, Stark is sure to find the perfect match for you and your loved ones. Visit their site at starkagency.com or give them a call at 334-263-5535 for a quote today.
No one wants to wait on service for an overhead door. With 20 years in the industry, you now have access to the best with All Access Overhead Door. All Access Overhead Doors offers prompt, professional service at affordable prices on all service and new garage doors for residential and commercial locations. All Access Overhead Door serves the river region and can take care of whatever you need when it comes to your overhead door. Remember, you have access to the best. All Access Overhead Door. Call and schedule an appointment today. 320-2440. And like them on Facebook. They sell the best and service the rest.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
There's different handling techniques, different types of equipment to handle the oysters gentler as the water's warm during the summer months.
Doug Ankerson runs the Isle Dauphine Oyster Company based here in South Alabama. We talk about what makes his farm-raised oysters as unique and distinct as they are. Listen to What's Working Saturday noon or find us online at whatsworkingcam.com.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by Ernest Financial.
If you're tired of losing your money in the stock market, call David Ernest, 334-279-7431. Ernest Financial, LLC.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Hi, everybody. If you have outdoor plans for the weekend, boy, the news is still very good. Although jackets are going to come out of the closet at night. A nice Friday today. Sunshine comfortable, high near 80. Clear skies, jacket weather tonight, low 50. Great weekend weather for the fair or tailgating with a high around 83 Saturday, 87 Sunday with more sun. Cool 50s at night. Then a cold front swings through the state on Columbus Day Monday. Coolest Canadian air of the season coming with 71 for a high Tuesday, 69 on Wednesday, and mid-40s by dawn Wednesday morning. Wow, what a change. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Thank you for voting ASC Credit Union, the best credit union in the River Region 6 years in a row. As we celebrate our 70th anniversary, we are proud to be at the top of the list for the best credit union in the hearts of the communities we serve.
News happens, you'll hear about it first. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. Let's go right to the phones and let's talk to Robert. Hey, Robert, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. How you fellas doing today?
Pretty good.
I'm gonna ask a question, and it might not be one that's gonna rub people the right way, but I just need an answer or the best one you could give. Former President Trump. And how do we overlook the fact that he has 34 felony convictions? It's not like, he done his time and, went back and, had his rights restored. He's had it expunged. And, he hadn't even been sentenced on it.
Right.
So I will agree that we don't have a lot to choose from within the two, and each one of them have their flaws. We all know that. So, but that's all we have. Based on our system that we have in place as in the United States, we if you're going to vote, exercise your right to vote, you're going to have to vote for one of the two. But I listen every day to all the talk shows. I'm a talk show junkie. Love you guys. I have my issues with Greg, but I love his show. But, I think that we got to be realistic about the fact how, and I don't hear anybody talking about it. Nobody, that's a subject that people kind of mum on now about those felony convictions.
Well, it's because real quick, I don't think people are overlooking it in the sense that when folks, especially those who are voting for Trump, see that. They see it as just evidence of a system that was out to get him from day one. And they've come up with pretty creative ways to go after him. And I think nobody's talking about it because you would think Kamala Harris and the Democrats in, say, national media would be talking about it. I don't think they're talking about it because it plays into that first thing I just mentioned. I think it makes people go, wait.
But as a on the Democratic side, and I heard it on your show that the situation about, I think her husband may have paid off, a lady or something of the sort, but that's being talked about. In other words, you can find negative on the opponent, but you don't want to talk about negative about your favorite candidate. And I disagree with that. Because when we go out to elect somebody, we always want to talk about the best. Nobody ever want to be criticized and talked about their own fault. Nobody wants that. You're gonna always tell it to your advantage. That's just how life is.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, you've listened to me, so I think you already know this. I don't view it as just like Trump versus Kamala or Trump versus Biden. I view it as sort of different systems of people fighting against one another. And I believe the system Biden represented, now that Kamala's trying to represent, is the same system that has caused so many problems for decades. Will Trump be perfect? No. But I think he would actually disrupt and continue to disrupt that system in a very good way.
So when you say, and what you're saying is basically you gotta, you have to pick the best of the two evils.
That and it's an old George Carlin joke about Bill Clinton, but I think it applies perfectly to Trump. Like two guys sitting there watching Trump, and one guy says, "Man, that guy's full of crap," and then the other guy looks back at him and goes, "Yeah, but at least he's honest about it." And I think there is, and Trump literally said that in a recent podcast, like, I'm basically an honest person, which everybody cracked up in the room about. He does this sort of wink and nod thing where, yes, I think he's told whoppers. I think he's withheld information. He's clearly got personality flaws. But at the end of the day, I think he's authentically himself, as opposed to so many other politicians, and it really puts him over.
And he's not evil. That's the main thing. That the people that are currently in power, and including the current administration of which Kamala Harris is a part, is an inherently evil system dedicated to subverting everything that makes this country what it is and what has made this country great. Now you're talking to someone who is not going to vote for Donald Trump. I'm definitely not going to vote for Kamala Harris either. But that being said, it's not lesser of two evils. It's one evil versus a person who has significant flaws but does not have wicked designs for the course of the country.
Well, this is one of the occasions I guess we can agree on that morality doesn't matter here, because we know Trump may be Trump, but sometimes you have to sort of like bag down. You can't let all your demons come out. We know that he's rude. We know that he's a bully. We know that he don't care basically what comes out of his mouth when it comes to talking about the opponent. He feel like it's all right to slander, rub the nose in the dirt, kick him in the butt at the same time. So morality doesn't matter here. It doesn't. There's no morality here.
Well, I mean, I would respectfully disagree that morality doesn't matter, but you have to look at it from a spectrum. There is a difference between someone who is crass, rude, maybe obnoxious, likes women that he's not married to, and then someone who is a part of a system who is intentionally making it more difficult for ordinary people to live their lives the way that they choose, so you will be more reliant on them so they can accrue more power. One is infinitely more immoral than the other, even though both are on a spectrum of immorality.
And Robert, let me jump in here and say I generally agree. I think in life, obviously, morality matters, but I think the more we try to make decisions as a people, and the more we rely on politics, morality is going to be whittled away. And I think that's just the nature of fighting over power. People tend to lie, or they tend to hurt one another in more physical ways. Thank God we're more a lying society than a violent one. But the more politics takes over a society and that fight for power takes over, Yeah, I think you're right. The sort of moral questions seem to take a back seat.
Right. Well, just my little opinion for the day, a little rant at the same time. But like I said, I listen to you guys all the time. And I really enjoy your show, and I think Joey, I like you because you're straight and balanced, and you bring a sense of normalcy to the airway.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Rob. Good call.
Now I really disagree.
He keeps bringing this Craig guy on. What is that? And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to keep bringing Craig on. And he keeps bringing on that Judge Knapp guy. Yeah, I'm going to keep bringing.
Dude, Judge Knapp can get fire.
Yeah,
buddy.
Oh no, I was asked point blank, and I just had to be honest. I'm still sort of in that slipstream of like Rand Paul, where I think on the Israel question, Israel and the United States are way too tight at the hip. I think there is very clearly a hope that the United States will take on Iran.
Yeah.
But when I don't buy the latest stuff, like the South African report to the International Court of Justice, they're genocidal. I just don't buy it. Yeah. And the more I try to learn about the histories, let's say, I don't think the Palestinian cause is eternally beautiful, or that the Israeli cause is eternally bunk. I think there's actually a pretty good case to be made for when you win a war and you fight for independence, you have independence.
Yeah.
Now, in the meantime, were there a lot of mistakes? So, the point of bringing all that up is obviously you got to have folks on, especially people who are friends that you don't always agree with.
Do you always agree with all your friends?
No, let's hope not.
No. But that's why they're friends. That's why that makes it interesting.
Right. Well, and I think what matters at the end of the day is loyalty. So, like, even though I disagree with Judge Knapp, like, you talk bad about him a little, enough, I might get a little feisty.
But you like people in your life that challenge you. And I think everyone should.
Right. Let's go to Russ. Hey, Russ, how you doing?
Hey, how are you guys doing today?
Pretty good. How you doing, bud?
Good. I'm in the country, so if my cell phone's bad, just hang up. But I just want somebody to name one city, one state that is run by Democrats that is successful.
Bueller.
Yeah, I got nothing.
I'll put it this way. There are pockets of success and people doing very well all over this country. But in terms of the whole warp and woof of a given state, I'm having a little trouble. Maybe you could say Colorado, then I'm like, nope, I'm thinking of this problem, this problem, this problem.
Yeah, it really just depends on your definition of success, doesn't it?
Let's use a simple one, like, are people moving to that state?
Yeah.
And most of them have been, what, Texas, Florida. Tennessee.
Yeah.
A lot of people have moved to Colorado.
Yeah.
So, and then you get weird cases like Vermont, which I don't want to live in Vermont, but it's such a weird small population that kind of works for them.
Well, a lot of people, especially moving to Texas, though, there are people moving to Texas openly saying, I'm leaving California, but I'm bringing my politics with me to Texas. I mean, look at Austin.
But when you look at major cities, that's where most of the problems Democrats complain about exist. It's the gun violence, the income disparities, all these things.
Yeah, I only have one more thing to add about people calling in talking about Trump and morality. If you go to Romans, New Testament, the Apostle Paul, Romans 1, start in verse 18 and read through 31, and you will find the entire Democratic platform. And then, if you read verse 32, 1:18 through 32, you'll find out what you get for giving hearty support for that.
I appreciate the roadmap, Russ. I think it's a good one.
All right. Anyway, I'm just saying that, look, I don't care if he's a convicted murderer. I will take him over any Democrat that wants to destroy this nation.
And you're not alone in that. I appreciate the call, man.
Thank you, Russ.
You bet. Thank you.
272-9228. Got to hit another break here. And Charles, first, if you can hold on, we'll come to you after this break. First, though, this part of the program brought to you by All Pro Heating, Air, and Electrical. Well, if you needed any proof that, sometimes life, you need a generator.
Yeah.
And little story. Dad drives up a generator to my brother in Greenville, South Carolina, and like it's not meant to hook up to the whole house.
Right. Probably 5,000 water.
And when I went to visit, I asked my brother, how was that? And he said, miserable. Like, I mean, doing that for a week
Gotta set priorities.
And I'm like, would you want a Generac generator? He's like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, just be able to switch that thing on, like, without even having to install anything. And it's like,
I imagine their sales spike after a storm.
Right.
Yeah.
And All Pro Heating, Air, and Electrical can do just that for you. Install a Generac generator. You know, it depends on what sort of home you want, what sort of things you require there, but it keeps the power on when the storms roll through. And of course, they're at All Pro. They can do a checkup on your HVAC system, or it might be time to upgrade, or that HVAC system's kind of going kaput.
Yeah.
As Lily Vom Stumps said in Blazing Saddles, everything is kaput.
Kaput.
So check them out today. You can always go to allproheatingair.com or give them a call, 301-1961. That's 301-1961. And be sure to tell them that Joey and Eddie, those fellows on the radio, sent you.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Make 2024 the year you break away from the chain stores and join us here at Adams Drugs. We value your business and want to provide you the best customer service at the lowest possible price. We've been serving up excellent customer service here in the River region for over 62 years.
I made the swap to Adams Drugs and I couldn't be happier. Having a job and then getting 3 kids to all of their activities keeps me busy. I don't have an hour to waste waiting on a prescription. At Adams, they know me and my family. I get in and out in minutes, and when I can't get by Adams, they'll bring the prescription right to my door.
What are you waiting for? Come in to Adams Drugs and let us earn your business. Our friendly and personal staff will talk with you and answer any questions you may have about your prescriptions. Your satisfaction is our #1 goal. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net for the location nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local independent Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Hey guys, are you looking for a professional and reliable tree service company in the Montgomery and surrounding areas? Well, check out the folks at Tree Masters. It's a name you know and trust. From pruning to full tree removal, they'll even help you remove your shrubs. They service all of Central Alabama, including Lake Martin and Lake Jordan. Call them for a free quote today at 334-676-3638. That's 334-676-3638. Tree Masters.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first time Nana moments.
Welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or diabetes, you're at higher risk of being hospitalized from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
The premier place the River region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and go to Charles the First, who's been patient. Hey, Charles.
Hey, fellas. Hope y'all doing good.
Doing good, man. How are you doing today?
Doing good, thank you. What happened with President Obama, ex-President Obama getting involved today made me think about how we got Kamala Harris as our VP to begin with, the underhanded, extreme treachery that took place to get her there. And I'm talking about the Democrat primary that, Biden wasn't doing very good. He was just, behind the lady that's the lady that claims she was an Indian and the others until the South Carolina primary where his people got with James Clyburn, who wanted a black lady vice president along with the ability to call Biden anytime he wanted to, and he would ensure that the vote would go to Biden. And the way that he did this was his wife Emily had passed away in 2019, and he was over the evangelicals of South Carolina. And they had a big meeting right there around that time where he told the pastors to preach a sermon about his late wife wanting Biden as her last wish to become president. And that kind of underhanded use of his wife's passing for the purpose is an underhanded Democrat try to, pull everybody together. And him going so good in South Carolina caused the yellow dog Democrat to see him as the viable person to vote on in the future. So keeping that in mind for what's happening today or what could happen in the coming couple of weeks, might be good for us to know.
Yeah, no, and it is fascinating, the power brokers and all the wheeling and dealing behind the scenes. It's something, Robert said before your call, Charles, about how, these are the only two choices, we got. Maybe some people don't like having that being the choice. And it is interesting how many choices are made behind the scenes before the voter ever gets to make their choice.
Well, I also believe that Clyburn had a lot to do with her getting to be the nominee for vice president. He called her the bulldozer. I think he stepped in and was very, very a critical person in that turning out the way that it did. So I just wanted to interject all those things and appreciate the show, and thanks for having me on.
Thank you, Charles.
Thank you, Charles.
Thanks, Charles.
See you, bud.
So coming up, y'all want to talk about robots?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Did you see the Tesla thing?
I did.
It's a little cool and frightening. Yes, it's both. Like, I'm frightened, but I'm also like, man, that'd be kind of like the future isn't that bad. We'll get into it.
I want robot slaves. That's what I want.
Really?
Like we already have
Dude,
plenty.
You would make them sit down and do all the work. You're into that suffering thing. You're not going to let somebody else work.
Well, I let my dishwasher work. That's a robot slave. My phone works. That's a robot slave. My microwave is a robot slave. I can accept one more slightly sentient robot slave.
Think so? I could see you getting angry at the robot, telling it didn't do a good enough job.
See, I kind of want a robot like in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy that's kind of depressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course you do.
Yeah, it'd be great.
R.I.P. Alan Rickman.
I know.
Of course you do, Joey.
Yeah, I just want. He's like, but he does what he needs to do anyway. Yeah. But he's not happy about it.
Kind of like a mechanical Eeyore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And we'll get into it. We've got to play some of the clips too. The unveiling, the progress is pretty nuts, and they're saying ready for market by next year. Wow. Holy moly. Wow. Before we hit the top of the hour break, this part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And they're at Montgomery Men's Health. Well, they're ready to help you fellas out. And, Eddie, you've been through that experience. Like, it's good to get your testosterone checked.
It is. And honestly, when you reach age 40, it kind of becomes part of your annual physical you should get done. But nowadays, as you've learned, and younger people are learning, their testosterone is important, kind of register to learn early on, so you can kind of watch it over time.
Right.
But mine, fortunately, is still cooking with gas. It seems to be. I thought I broke the machine, but but they did give me an idea because I was having the brain fog. I really thought I had the low testosterone, but they gave me a little injection that I was taking monthly. It changed my sleep pattern big time, cleared a lot of my brain fog, and honestly, gave me a lot more energy right from the get-go. And I told them right up front, I said, I don't know if it's just the placebo effect, but I'm already feeling better after a couple of days. And they laughed and they said, everyone tells us that.
There you go. And they can help you out, folks. Do it as a basic part of your annual men's health routine. Get your testosterone checked, and they do a PSA score.
That's right.
A great marker for prostate health without, as invasive a procedure as some people have experienced. Right. So knowing whether or not you have low T is huge in combating all these issues, from lack of energy, motivation, drive. Just feel like, as Eddie was saying, that brain fog holding you down, and also decrease in sex drive. Like you're never in the mood. If you do have low T, they have low T treatments there at Montgomery Men's Health that can truly change lives. Men can experience higher energy, better gains in the gym, better mental clarity, improved sleep patterns, a faster metabolism. You usually even notice an increased libido, and you can actually book the same day that you call. That number, 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com to book your appointment today. When you said you broke the machine, or you thought you broke the machine, I envisioned they actually took you back and had you do one of those arcade punching bag things. And then you're like, no, your teeth's fine. It's like, I broke it.
I've seen many videos like that. Have you ever punched one of those, by the way?
Maybe once.
Yeah.
It's been a
I
not
don't
since
know.
I'm not as an adult person.
Right. As an adult, I don't know if I would want to now.
Tear a
Right.
peck or stuff.
Or just come back with a hysterical low number and everyone laugh at you.
Yeah. No, I don't think my punching powers. I haven't practiced it enough, so I suspect my punching power is pretty low.
That's what I'm. Yeah.
Anyway, or you could be like I'm Ivan Drago.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Jason Walker. Relatives of passengers who died in Boeing MAX crashes calling on a judge today to throw out a plea agreement they say is a sweetheart deal for Boeing. Federal judge in Texas hearing arguments over that plea deal. It calls for Boeing to pay a $244 million fine and be put on probation for 3 years. The relatives say it's too late. Police say gunman has shot and killed 21 minors and wounded 6 others in Pakistan. It comes just days ahead of a major security summit being held in Pakistan. Wholesale prices in the United States unchanged last month. That in a sign that inflation may be returning to something close to normal, that after years of pressuring America's households in the wake of COVID-19. This is SRN News.
Donald Trump's indictment proves that saving America is not going to be easy. There are entrenched powers that are fighting this with everything they've got. They want to keep control over the country, the narrative, and the nation's money supply. Hi, I'm Lance Wallnow. I'm a news analyst, a Christian author, and evangelical leader. I speak to millions of people every week, people just like you. You see, what the elites are doing is using inflation and government handouts and now central bank digital currencies to determine how they're going to control America. And that's why I recommend all Christians start a gold IRA from the Birch Gold Group, because physical precious metals are one of the few ways you can maintain control over your own savings. To get a free info kit on gold IRAs, text the word faith to 989898. Birch Gold Group is the only gold company I trust. Get their free info kit and you'll see why a gold IRA can help you. There are no strings attached. Text the word faith to 989898 and you're going to be blessed by taking action right now.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Hi, everybody. If you have outdoor plans for the weekend, boy, the news is still very good. Although jackets are going to come out of the closet at night. A nice Friday today. Sunshine comfortable, high near 80. Clear skies, jacket weather tonight, low 50. Great weekend weather for the fair or tailgating with a high around 83 Saturday, 87 Sunday with more sun. Cool 50s at night. Then a cold front swings through the state on Columbus Day Monday. Coolest Canadian air of the season coming with 71 for a high Tuesday, 69 on Wednesday, and mid-40s by dawn Wednesday morning. Wow, what a change. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
For the lowest prices around on flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies, Budget Floors and More is your new best friend. Luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, floor installation supplies, and more with prices lower than the big box stores. Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey Publix.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. Over $200,000 is going to the Alabama Department of Public Health for a campaign to raise awareness of the dangers of distracted driving. The department will work with schools across the state to share information and hold training sessions in an effort to reduce the number of children killed in distracted driving incidents. Governor Kay Ivey has deployed a 57-person search and rescue task force to Florida to help with recovery from Hurricane Milton. Governor Ivey also activated more Alabama National Guard soldiers to assist with the Hurricane Helene response in North Carolina. The team from the 20th Special Forces Group will help in remote areas of the state. Alabama's school voucher-like program, the Choose Act, now has its own website with information about the program. The website features eligibility requirements, an online application, and important deadlines for parents. Applications are now open for education savings accounts for approved students. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Hey y'all, this is Steve Kirkpatrick for Big Block Designs. I haven't always been a drafter. I grew up in the radio, TV broadcasting business in Pensacola, which is why I know the value of advertising on Blue Water Broadcasting. And you know the first thing you do when you get in the car is turn on the radio. Blue Water Broadcasting gets results. Big Block Designs has grown because we advertise with Blue Water. It works. Want to grow your business? You should too. Have a better day.
Did you know that radio is the #1 reach platform in all of media? It's true. Call us to find out how to put radio's #1 reach to work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
I'm Wes Allen, Secretary of State. In Alabama, election integrity is a top priority. We must ensure fair, secure, and transparent elections. To vote in Alabama, state law requires voters to present a valid form of photo identification. For a complete list of acceptable identification, or to learn more about acquiring a free photo voter ID, visit alabamavotes.gov.
This message is presented by Alabama Secretary of State Wes Allen.
What'll it be, Joe?
Coffee and apple pie. Whoa, Madge, what was that?
The lights? Oh, they always dim when the dishwasher turns on.
You should call Crosby Electric.
You think?
Overloaded circuits at your business can be dangerous. The experts at Crosby Electric can upgrade your electrical service to safely handle the load. And they can add receptacles where needed to eliminate overuse of extension cords.
Madge, I'd like to pay you. The problem is it's so dark in here I can't read my bill.
No, the problem is you're cheap.
Well, that's a problem too.
Effective, attractive lighting is essential for any business. Crosby Electric can help with a new lighting scheme that will give your business a fresh, exciting look. And they can recommend outdoor lighting for greater safety and security.
That'll be $4.50 for the coffee and pie, Joe.
Well, don't I get anything for recommending Crosby Electric?
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Joe.
You're welcome.
Don't put off essential electrical upgrades for your business. Call 272-2085 or visit crosbyelectric.com.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm Joey. That's Eddie. That's Craig. And, well, let's get right to the robots. Because this was the big reveal. Had them walk out on stage. Elon did. Let's tune in.
Robot with wheels. And we've made a lot of progress with Optimus. And as you can see, we started with someone in a robot suit, sort of down, and then we've progressed dramatically year after year. So if you extrapolate this, you're really going to have something spectacular, something that.
So what we're looking at here, folks, and you can check it out on the stream, Joey Clark Live on YouTube, is black and white, kind of faceless.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they got a smile.
Yeah, a little bit of a smile. Well, and so they've got some examples now of the robot walking around the house.
Personal R2-D2 C-3PO. But fundamentally, at scale, the Optimus robot, you should be able to buy an Optimus robot for, I think, probably $20,000 to $30,000 long term. So, and what can it do? It'll be able to do anything you want. So it can be a teacher, babysit your kids. It can walk your dog, mow your lawn, get the groceries, just be your friend, serve drinks, whatever you can think of, it will do. And yeah, it's going to be awesome. And I think this will be the biggest product ever of any kind.
And it's showing it doing basic chores around the house, getting the mail, like taking out the garbage, bringing in the groceries from the car.
Are we sure that's not a person in a robot suit, just for?
I don't know.
advertising
That'd be a
purposes?
skinny person right there.
Especially that hip connection there. But I don't know.
It's kind of spooky.
Yeah, you want him. I mean, I love the fact of free labor, but also, he's all your business. He knows all your business.
Yeah.
You gonna get dressed in front of the robot?
I get dressed in front of my laptop, open it, and I hope that someone hacks it. This
I do that
deserves
too,
to be
just-
seen.
I do that too, just to irritate my CIA guy.
Well, and it's actually that's the op-ed we read from Senator Brett. Her concern is if you don't go with these, like the robots are coming anyway. She co-wrote this with the guy who's the top advisor for Palantir Technologies. And so if you don't go with these, the other major manufacturer of humanoid robots like this is China.
Could we have ours,
So,
like Craig get a China one and I get a Tesla one and we like put them out in the yard? And I mean, that would be interesting.
Maybe we could see how communist one is versus the other.
Yes.
Right, yeah. Who's well? What country? What organization do you want to send your naked pictures to?
Well,
Collecting information.
Yeah, I get. Well, the thing is, like, I've kind of just given up trying to be safe because it's like they're just going to. Like, anyone who wants to get into your phone is going to. Anyone who wants to access your personal information just can.
Okay.
So
I'm down with that too. I don't. That's why I say I
but
think
at the same
it's
time, I'm not
appropriate.
letting some freaking robot watch my kids, though. Like,
Yeah, that's
And what's
that's
the
odd.
limit of its
Would it help
capabilities?
if they didn't look like how these look? If it was more like an R2D2?
yeah,
Well, with that
wheels
though,
are
you could get
friendly.
it. You could get it printed on there. You can get whatever.
Or
You
what's
can wear
the
an
new
Auburn
one, the
jersey or
BB-8
whatever.
in the newer trilogy?
Yeah, I've seen only one of those, so I think I know what you're talking
But
about.
what's its limits? If I say go punch Joey in the face,
I don't think it's going to be allowed to do that.
Is it going to
all right,
follow
but
the?
what if I can hack it?
Well, then that's a big safety problem.
Is it gonna-
And he's got
Just
killer
put it out
robots
there.
now.
All right, I'm just putting
Well,
it
see,
out
that's
there.
the thing. Is it going to follow the 3 laws in the Will Smith iRobot movie?
The Asimov.
Ooh.
Yeah. Man, I kind of want to rewatch that now. Or at
Yeah.
least, actually, I need to go read the book. I don't think I've ever read Asimov's book.
No, I haven't either. But
And I
the
didn't see
movie-
a big easy disconnect. So like if he's attacking me, there should be a huge disconnect on there where I can just push the button and he's done for a minute.
Like Data and Star
Yeah.
Trek. Yeah.
Or a cup of water, something.
maybe.
Cup of water.
How
Short
waterproof
him out.
are that? That's actually a good question. Because
Yeah.
if we're gonna have robot slaves in Alabama, and they go out to mow the lawn and they just start short circuiting and run over your
Can
Pomeranian.
I take him noodling?
What did you say that again?
Can I take him noodling?
Yeah.
I can see Eddie right now lounging out on his boat
That
with a
camera loaded
robot
up.
servant just bringing him
That's right.
margaritas.
Massive catfish.
I'm just looking for its limitations.
Can I take it noodling?
Can I take it noodling?
Now, tell the folks what you just told me off air, because that was like, I felt like I was in the movie Joe Dirt.
What?
About the one robot you can now purchase?
Oh, you can purchase a dog robot that's got a flamethrower on it for $40,000. I found him last night. He's already got the flamethrower on
A
it.
dog robot
Yeah.
with a flamethrower on it for 40 grand.
40 grand. Yeah. Thought it was pretty cool.
Great for chasing away critters, that's for sure.
Hey, you ain't got to worry about those porch pirates no more.
Are there drones with flamethrowers?
Yeah. Or
With
you can
enough
make your own
duct
at this
tape,
point.
yeah.
Oh, they got them. But there's enough at this point.
Yeah, some of the stuff, as soon as you start thinking, like, it's cool, it would be real cool.
Oh, sure, but
then you
my
also
mind
start
instantly
thinking about
goes to-
everything has a dark side
Yeah.
and a downside. Like, how these things could be weaponized. Whether it's collecting information on you, spying on you, or it malfunctions, or it's
I would
hacked.
love to be
or-
able to put it through its test. Like, let's put it next to the car. How fast can it run?
Well,
I mean,
here's a bigger test. If he's going to
Can
be
I swim?
It's like a
Here-
cheat.
Here's a bigger test. Put him in a house with all my kids' toys on the freaking floor, and see if he doesn't stumble
Yeah,
and crush my
exactly.
infant. It's like, let's see you navigate that minefield, turd blanket. Because I fall almost daily because it's between falling and letting the bottom of my
Yes.
plantar fascia being penetrated by a Lego. And so I choose
Lego
falling
field.
every time.
Yep.
Well, and here's another clip. This is one of the robots, humanoid robots from Tesla, like outside, hanging out in a crowd. Let's.
Elon, he's a techno king.
Sounds like a Chad.
So this is like a big presentation of more than just Optimus. The humanoid robot is called Optimus. You now have also Optimus along with Cybercab.
What about Optimus Prime?
Yeah. Cybercab is going to cost around 30 grand. Operating costs about 20 cents a mile. We'll have robotic cleaning and wireless charging. We'll be able to make money for people on its own in production before 2027 is their time.
Dude, I'm down.
Actually, that's fascinating.
That is.
Where you could
be able to
run
go-
a cab,
Yeah.
essentially.
Well, and the errands. I mean, say you want to go to the store, especially elderly. You can't get out and drive. Well, I've got one of these that can go do my grocery pickup.
And then
You
the
could do
other
some
one,
carpooling with that.
Yeah.
Like for people that don't have their own ride, you can do about four a
Exactly.
pop. Going to the Hyundai plant, you know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Oh, dude, how we used to stack in there.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
and then the Optimus robot, the humanoids we've been talking about, will cost between 20 and 30 grand. About a nice
About a car,
mid-level
good
car.
yeah.
Can I ride on his back and he'd take me to work?
Will be used to complete tasks and chores. Can talk like humans and move like humans.
Can
and
we turn that feature off?
But this
Yeah.
one's expected to be ready by next year. So you very well could. I mean, you see people around Montgomery with Teslas. You could go hang out with somebody, say, in Wind Lakes.
Well, how fast?
And hang
are
out with
they?
their robot.
Well, Eddie has a good point. How fast are they? Because if they could just throw me on their back like
Yeah, I'm
Hodor
going to work,
and
man.
just like start running,
Dude,
I don't even need a car.
me a
Which,
saddle.
by the way, every time I hear Hodor, I'm like, that is the saddest name.
Yeah, it is.
What awful. Man, screw you, George Martin. Where's the final book?
Is that not even out yet? He hasn't. Oh
No,
God.
he's still complaining about House of the Dragon.
Can I take him to play poker with me? Because he can read the cards. I mean, I got a lot of questions. Can we go play 3-card Monte? Can he be my security?
I'm sure actually you could train this robot to do all sorts of things for you.
Is there a way to go ahead and put your name on the list?
Yeah, now if you're like a single woman, you don't need a tripod or some sad sap fella. You could just have the robot hold the camera.
Yeah, this is true. I thought you were going a completely different way
Me
with
too.
that.
Oh,
How anatomically correct are these robots?
oh no,
I'm
I'm
sure they
not.
have
I did. I was not going there with the.
Does it have like the saw blade attachment where when I'm in the yard and I want some trees cut down, I can snap off the hand and snap on the saw blade attachment?
like Evil Dead?
Whatever, like the guy who cuts the trees in the
Shop
yard.
smart. Shop S-smart.
Yeah, have it just groovy.
Right.
Well, also, I mean, it does. Man, this is gonna. Speaking of
Dude,
movies,
I
you
got
need
a
to
lot
go.
of questions.
Speaking of movies, you need to go back and rewatch. Go rewatch Ex Machina and then watch the.
Oh
that,
man. Yeah, but that robot, I kind of felt for the robot.
I did. The
It was being
she wanted
tortured.
liberty.
Well,
She wanted her
all right,
freedom.
let's say you go to a friend's house and he's got a robot and he's one of these robots and you see just being tortured. Do you feel bad for the robot?
I do feel bad for.
Do you-
Well,
do you try to
I mean,
help him
have
out?
you seen that? Like you go over to somebody's place and the way they like treat their dog.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I see worse.
it's
The
a
way they treat
similar.
their
They're
wife or
Yeah, makes everybody uncomfortable.
yes.
Yeah, you would be
You want to
uncomfortable.
go to dinner? No.
Yeah.
And it leads to somebody just going, "Hey, everything all right? Oh yeah, everything's fine."
You
Oh,
would be
yeah."
uncomfortable with my dogs for the first couple months of their time in my house because it's a harsh dictatorship and they have to
Dogs are kind of like that.
yeah. You kind
They
of
like
to,
the discipline.
There's nothing.
They
I think
need
the only thing worse than misbehaving dogs are misbehaving children. Like if you have a dog that you haven't even taken an effort to train and you like want to bring him over to my house or take him places, you can kick all the rocks. Like I don't want to sit there with your savage animal that you're too lazy to train as they urinate everywhere and bite things and chew up furniture. It's like just no.
But by the way, as we're talking about all this, the Tesla stock is plunging to a 1-month low after this presentation.
Hot dog. It's a
And
buying
in
opportunity.
particular, I think it's because of the Cybercab production not starting for another 2 years.
Possibly.
And then the other one they unveiled, and I'll pull this back up on the stream. This is called the RoboVan. It's an autonomous bus, can transport up to 20 people, can also be used to transport goods. No current timeline on it, though. And when you look at the prototype, the interior of it, it's sleek. It looks
pretty
like
cool.
the future. But that's probably why the stock price went down 10% or something, because they're like, wait, no timeline, and wait, another 2-3 years for the cab business.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, that economically, the RoboVan is probably the scariest one because I mean, as much as I made jokes about robot slaves and robot servants, people don't typically, except unless you're very wealthy, you typically don't have like a live-in maid, live-in type servant type situation. Most people don't have that, so it's not going to impact the economy negatively. But the self-driving transportation things,
Good point.
that's going to take a huge chunk out of a lot of people's jobs.
True.
Truck driving, as is coming from a former truck driver, there's
a push for that now.
There's probably several million truck drivers in this country that would be out of a job, and that's a scary
Tesla's
thought.
been pushing that for a while.
Oh
with
yeah.
their-
I
their
don't think they're
18-wheelers
going to let
now.
it happen. I think that they're just going to regulate it to death so people can have jobs.
Yeah.
Well, and it does
Yeah.
make sense too. The job would be different than normal driving. And again, this would be your expertise, not mine, Craig.
Mhm.
But have somebody that's essentially trained to run the thing, do maintenance on
Yeah.
it.
Somebody can take over.
And also somebody, when you get to, deliveries, you have this human element to it.
Yeah.
But you're there to essentially watch the thing.
Make sure it doesn't go off the rails.
And it probably would be safer compared to, people, I'm sure people falling asleep at night, all the,
all the
pitfalls.
methamphetamine.
Yeah.
Tell you a few stories.
There
about
won't be
that.
so many
Yeah.
Mountain Dews on the side of the road.
Yeah, well,
that's not really
true.
Mountain Dew in it.
And then, also then you wouldn't have to worry about where to park and all this other stuff. It's being a trucker's hard, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Now, there's more to this little video. Elon leaving, hopping into one of these prototype cabs that's automated.
Be a teacher, babysit your kids. It can walk your dog, mow your lawn, get the groceries.
Bartending
Just be your
robot.
friend, serve drinks. So the robotaxi has no plug. It just goes over the inductive charger and charges. So,
Oh, wow.
It's kind of how it should be.
It's a cool looking vehicle.
But here's
dude.
another thing, man. How dumb as a people are we going to become? Phone numbers. How many phone numbers do you remember?
Right.
My
Nothing.
wife's. That's it. Yeah.
I can remember my
272-922.
Yeah, I mean, really, that's really. So how dumb are we going to become at some point where? Well, I'm not complaining. I'm just kind of wondering.
No, it's a huge question because leaving aside that, going back to the economic thing that I was talking about, like how many different jobs can that robot fulfill?
Eliminate that. I
How
already
did
have.
this not turn into socialism by necessity whenever you have automated things taking up all of the things that people used to get paid to do?
Yeah.
Like how what is the point of an
Well,
occupation at that point?
when it-
That's not coding and repairing these things.
When it's starts cutting into the tax situation, like
Yeah.
is happening in California with electric vehicles, they're not making near as much money on gas taxes anymore. To the point now they're having to go to these electric vehicle guys and go, "Hey, we're going to need some tax money after all." So when it starts affecting the tax base, that's when they'll say, "Hey, we've got to come up with something new."
I mean, how far away are we from a society where currency is irrelevant because robots do all the jobs? They plant,
Right.
and grow our food, they transport our food, they sell us our food, they give us our food. Like,
In a way, that's a good problem to have,
Yeah.
where scarcity is so low.
but what are we
that-
going to do?
No,
How
and that's
fat
the
can we
question.
get?
No, it's a conversation that should be had many more days into the future of like, okay, what do you do with humans? They're two extremes, say, in the technocrat world. One is like, and you could see it already happening to some people. You just put them in a pod, you give them virtual reality,
Yeah.
you feed them their food, their sustenance. They can, they can go be a prince in some fantasy magical land. They can.
There are days I might sign up.
They
for
can
that.
just jump into pure fantasy and never leave their pod, essentially. Or there's some idea of like make it more old school, like bring back like artisan jobs,
Yeah.
like creating things with your hands, like what Daniel Day-Lewis, when he was method acting, he stopped doing acting for a second. He went and just became a cobbler.
yeah.
Like for just to do it.
And to tailor, to do
Yeah.
his final movie, to become a dressmaker.
And you could see, I think, certain locales like adopting sort of old guild system stuff where it's not necessary to make this stuff,
Yeah.
but it's more an art than it is, oh, we're making money.
That's what we do now when we get retired.
Right.
Yeah, but
Right.
but think about this. Since the Industrial Revolution and the technological revolution, all these advancements we've made, the greatest pieces of art, music, literature, they were all made before that.
True.
Point.
So laziness doesn't create brilliance all of a sudden, and this technology will, by definition, make us more lazy.
Yeah, I was watching a speech last night by Michael Knowles, of all people, and he said, he mentioned the Battle of Lepanto. And he said, I think that the High Middle Ages was the height of Western civilization, not what we are
Not
now.
now.
And I heard that, and I'm like, I don't know. But there is a certain idea of to your point, Eddie, it's not just remembering phone numbers. It's like, where does the creative genius go? Like, and how is it channeled? Now, obviously, I think Elon is a bit of a genius in terms of how he's making certain things come to reality.
Yeah.
But you do have to wonder, where's the soul in all this?
Well, let's-
Yes, I think a good way to
Just
ask
a
the
basic
question.
thing. Right now, we all eat. but there's not many of us in this world that could grow their own food if they had to. Now, that
No,
was not
that's
an
true.
issue 100 years ago. It was an issue 50 years ago, probably. But now, so
It's true.
again, how dumb can we get?
Oh, it could get dumber. We could just become little batteries, like, the
Yeah.
Matrix is real.
Well, do you remember when people thought that stupid people only existed because of a lack of access to information?
Yeah.
Oh,
And then now everyone walks
Everyone
around
has-
with
yeah.
the entire corpus of human existence and that knowledge in their pocket, and they've gotten dumber.
Yep, I was going to say it has not
Yeah.
helped us at all.
Yeah, all the knowledge in the world does not give one discernment.
Right.
Yeah.
Or the wisdom of Solomon.
I swear it's all you need struggle in order to incur wisdom.
Right. Well, and then the
yeah.
idea becomes, how do you introduce artificial scarcity or struggle into the human experience in a world where, technically speaking, everything's taken care of?
Jacked people will rule the world.
Yeah, weightlifting.
Yeah, weightlifting.
Brother. 272-9228. Let's go to Randall. Hey, Randall, how you doing?
Hey, fellas, man, sound like y'all having a good time. Plus, it's been an informative show, man. Really has. And before I get to the robot, what I was calling for was the punching bag. The trick to the punching bag is don't hit through it. Hit up. Make sure you hit up and up ways. Don't try to hit through it.
You're talking about a speed bag.
No, the big one where we.
Oh, the big one. Hit up through.
Hit up, yes, sir. Don't hit. Don't.
Well, because
don't
that's
hit
where the
through it.
lever action is.
Well,
that
I've
makes
seen
sense.
some other people that like wound up and missed and just kept, they kept going. They missed the bag altogether.
Yeah, a lot of people hit down.
I don't want to be
on
that
it.
guy.
A lot of people hit down on it, and that's actually the wrong way,
Yeah.
to do it. So,
Okay.
but on the robot, I know Craig wasn't here when we was talking about it, but Salem, Oregon, started. They dropped 10,000 of them. Dropped 10,000 of them last year, and at the place called Agility Robotics Rob Fab, and the Amazon is actually testing them, and the name of them is called Digits. So y'all, I know y'all didn't like the name of the last one, but these are called. Their name is Digits. What do y'all think about that?
Digits,
Name.
like DIGITS?
That's it. It ain't with an S. It's just Digits. And that's it. And Amazon is the first place they started testing them at. So and they don't look like they look kind of like what y'all live, except for the head looks like E.T. Not E.T. but the other dude. He's got the big eyes, and his dome ain't shaped like a human quite
Here,
as much. Easy
I'm
now.
pulling it up on the stream right now. Yeah, it's a little more cartoony.
Yeah.
Less threatening.
Yeah.
That's for
A lot
sure.
less
Yeah.
threatening, yeah.
Hey, and I gotta say, man, y'all two microphones are matching up perfect. I love y'all.
Good to
man.
hear, Randall. Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
Oh wow, he's right. I'm looking at the stream right
Right.
now. That's kind of a
That's something
wow.
that
You
drives-
get a glimpse into how Randall's mind
Yeah,
works.
it
He's
drives
like, line
Randall
up the
nuts.
microphones.
He'll send me texts when they're a little bit off.
Yeah, it looks like you guys are sharing a shake weight. Over there.
Oh. Craig.
Tell me about the women at work, honey. Here's some change for a cat hair. 272-9228. Let's go to line 3. You're on there. Who's us?
Hey guys, it's Bill.
Hey, Bill.
Hey, Bill.
I'm a little concerned about Eddie. He is totally too inquisitive about these robots.
I'm lazy. I'll be very honest with you, Bill. Something I learned in manufacturing a long time ago is you find the laziest person out there that can get the work done, that gets the job done every day, and you go see what he does because he's got it figured out. And people used to come to me on the regular. And how do you get it done in 4 hours when everybody else is struggling to get it done in 8? Yeah. So I'm lazy.
Well, I just don't think that robots will ever be able to handle some tasks because there's a certain hand-eye coordination that's involved in doing some things, like some of the tedious surgeries. And, in the medical field, robotic surgery is simply inserting a device that a doctor operates to do the surgery. But I don't know that I'd ever want an autonomous robot doing something like that on me.
You may not have a choice
Yeah.
after a while. I mean, if it just moves that direction, medical schools won't be a thing anymore. It's just medical programming.
And keep in mind that right now, with humans doing it, I think and this is all sorts of things, not just surgery, but the number 3 cause of death is medical mistakes and error.
Yeah.
And so when you do a robot, like they're seeing this with cars, with the autonomous cars, it has to be to a standard much higher than even a human being driving a car.
Right.
I think that would be the idea. Though I understand also your trepidation. Like it's the question I asked earlier, where's the soul in all this? And I think it can make you uncomfortable.
Well, but a lot of the deaths in medicine aren't necessarily by practice; they're by reaction. I can tell you, from working in and around that field, that there are people that have taken medications for years, sometimes decades. That medication, get sick, go back to the medication the first time they take it, especially with injections. That there for a few years, doctors got scared to give people injections because they'd kill them.
Right.
But thankfully, I'm getting closer to the end of my road, and chances are I'm not going to live to see all this. But you never know.
You never know.
Let me ask you: would you trust getting on one of those?
Say that again. You broke up.
Case in point, do you trust the robots to accurately do a job?
Right.
As if to prove a point.
Well, Bill, we lost you for some reason.
Yep.
So, yeah, kind of, man, that is a deep point right there.
I'm watching
So,
a
again,
video.
it's like, would you trust getting on that horse?
Yeah. I don't, by the way. Horses
Right.
are the devil, and I will get nowhere near them. Every time I've gotten on a horse, it's gone bad. They try to bite my feet.
They see something.
I think they're mad because I ate a few of them.
The horses know. They know.
They eat a lot of horse in Canada, though, but
just about every other place except here. Very popular. Very
meat's
popular.
meat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think there is risk ain't going away.
No.
It's just what risk are you choosing?
It's like, you trust your phone to navigate you safely from point A to point
True.
B. That's dangerous.
Right.
You trust your technology. I mean, you're trusting all these automated things that could literally end your entire existence every single day of your life. Driving,
Literally
Like, hey,
driving. I put it in
kaboom,
auto
like,
mode.
yeah.
And, yeah.
So I mean, the new is always scarier than what we're used to.
Right.
But that Overton window shifts very, very
Oh yeah,
quickly.
people are very worried about like railroads, like what happens with the sparks and all this stuff. Like they were very skeptical of automobiles.
Yeah.
In fact, I think there's a pretty famous New York Times, I think it was editorial, talking about how we won't fly for another 100 years. And I think the next day the Wright brothers fly. Yeah. So like, and then anytime there's a new technology, people bring up the safety concerns as a reason to want to regulate it to death. And I tend to think I err on the side of the innovators. Now, if they really screw something up, I think they're liable. But I tend to err on the side of the innovators. And if people are willing to take the risk without, putting all the cost on everybody else, that's some of these bigger questions are like systems that are being built. It's a little more complicated, but I think innovation is the way.
Yeah, it's the economic thing that scares me to death because we haven't figured out a way to have a truly sustainable society economically and culturally yet. And we've done it pretty much the same way. The nuances have changed, but we've done it the same way for thousands and thousands of years. This would literally require the formulation of a completely new economic social structure that nobody has even tried. And that's the scary part to me.
First one, the robot wins. I mean, I can get my robot to do everything quickly, and then get a patent on it.
Well, then you just have like a 13-year-old Korean nerd who just hacks everyone's robots to take them all hostage.
Yeah.
And now he's the king of the world.
Yeah.
Old Kim Jong in
Well, you got to have that
Seoul.
big disconnect.
Yeah.
There has to be a huge disconnect on there where you can shaploom.
Yeah, but what if he hacks that to where the kaboom doesn't work no more?
You have to be able to remove that disconnect, so there's not an electrical connection.
And I just do love these folks that are changing the world and in ways that isn't just, popularity contest in politics. Though I kind of draw the line if Elon sets up a big monolith. You're like, come touch my monolith. I'm like, no,
Sure?
you're getting a little too close to space.
Sure?
Odyssey, man. I don't
You
know
wouldn't,
about
you
that.
wouldn't put your arms.
No, I don't know, but I'm like a little skeptical of all that. I'll start, learning how to use tools.
Well, you were talking about GPSs, and you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine though. I mean, I grew up probably one of the last generations to read a map. If you handed a map to an 18 or a 20-year-old now and said, "I need you to go from here to New Jersey," could they do it?
Yeah. They couldn't even figure out MapQuest.
Right.
Like,
You remember the struggle.
I remember
Yes.
MapQuest, yeah. But like a map, when you have, especially if you're going from one state to another, and you actually have to flip the page.
Right. There's something on the fold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And can you imagine like Magellan?
Yeah.
Like, how do you navigate the globe using what they had?
I think you just go and they hit some land.
It's
They go,
crazy.
"Hey, we did it."
Kind of like the Shogun show where they're just like,
Right.
we're gonna float until we hit Japan.
Exactly.
Sure, we have scurvy and I don't have any teeth, and our captain shot himself, but we'll get there.
We're gonna make it.
Have you seen that, by the way, Shogun?
I don't think I have.
It's not bad.
Okay.
It's not bad.
Check
Not
it
bad.
out. Well, I got to hit another break here.
course
First,
you
this
do.
part of the program brought to you by River Region Contracting. And they're at River Region Contracting. They're ready to help you. Whether you have an asphalt or metal roof, it should be inspected on a regular basis. You might as well do it annually.
That's right.
Especially when you work with River Region Contracting, because their inspections and estimates are always free.
Exactly, Joey.
So they could come out and be like, you're fine.
Yep.
And you're on the hook for any money.
And you feel good because you know you had somebody inspect your roof. You've heard those bumps go in the night, but you know it's all good.
And if you do have an issue, like you've been through the process with them a few times now on different properties, they are going to have an accurate estimate, again, a free estimate, but it'll be accurate on how much the job will actually cost. They show up on time. They do the job well. And they don't just go, hey, go away, kid, you're bothering me. They actually like educating their customers. Here's your problem. Here's exactly how we're going to fix it.
Yep.
So y'all check them out today. Call them at 356-8635. That's 356-8635. And be sure to tell Todd and the team that Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson with the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. Here are the 5 steps you'll have to take to buy a home in this market. First, it's so important to get pre-qualified through a local lender because to get an offer accepted, you will have to have a written pre-approval letter submitted with your offer. Second, it's critical that you identify the 3 most important must-haves with a house, including the location where you want to live. Third, always hire a professional buyer's agent that will represent your best interest and to be looking out for your interests, not the seller's interest through the transaction, working on your behalf all the way to the closing. Fourth, hire the best home inspector you can find. Let him identify the issues with the home. Let your agent negotiate on your behalf for needed repairs. Fifth, close with a top-notch closing attorney's office that will examine the title, provide you with title insurance, and give you good title in the future. For a complete list of buyer agent services, call Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group, 221-2883 or 551-0225.
Want to take the price of new flooring and tear it in half? You can during Prattville Carpet's biggest sale of the year, going on right now. Save 50% on select luxury vinyl plank and select carpets in stock. Stop into the store to register to win a brand new quartz countertop up to 75 feet until November 20th. No purchase necessary.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. If you're looking for waterproof carpet, hardwood, laminate, vinyl plank, or ceramic tile, call us today for your free measurement.
Shop now and save big at PrattvilleCarpet.com.
Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values. This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. an equal housing lender.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. Alabama Wholesale Lumber, the best quality building materials in the river region for decades. From common builds to special orders and local delivery. Call Alabama Wholesale Lumber.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Hi, everybody. If you have outdoor plans for the weekend, boy, the news is still very good. Although jackets are going to come out of the closet at night. A nice Friday today. Sunshine comfortable, high near 80. Clear skies, jacket weather tonight, low 50. Great weekend weather for the fair or tailgating with a high around 83 Saturday, 87 Sunday with more sun. Cool 50s at night. Then a cold front swings through the state on Columbus Day Monday. Coolest Canadian air of the season coming with 71 for a high Tuesday, 69 on Wednesday, and mid-40s by dawn Wednesday morning. Wow, what a change. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Web Bobo with Capital Tractor. Get 0% financing up to 48 months with approved credit. Now on select Kubota track loaders and excavators. Get a Kubota now through December 31st, 2024. See Capital Tractor Montgomery and Brundage or KubotaUSA.com for details.
Trustworthy, accurate, immediate. Carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back, folks. The news and views in the afternoon. We got an issue on 65, Eddie?
Yeah, 65 south, or 65, I guess 65 north. I think from Prattville north is pretty much closed.
Yeah.
Sounds like they've closed the interstate.
Wreck?
It says there's a
law
police
enforcement situation. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Man, that's got to be a heck of a situation.
Yeah, lots of people sitting in traffic.
Yeah. What do you think? They've found a body or had a high speed chase or something?
I heard high speed chase.
Yeah. Well, there was a high speed chase like that ended not the week before last when I was here in the studio going home, where it ended and the car had flipped over.
Ooh.
So taking that right there on not Zelda. What's that road?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, where it's weird, where you have to take a right and then you have to make sure you're in the right lane, otherwise.
Or it ends.
Yeah, or it ends. Yeah, there was a car overturned right there. So every time I come on the radio, there's some horrible accident on my way home.
Yeah.
Here lately, man, high speed chases have been happening a lot more often than they used to happen in California all the time. Remember, you have the helicopters chasing them. But
low speed chases are less frequent. I wonder why.
Not too many old folks.
Let's go to line one. Talk to Simpler Days. Hey, Simpler Days.
Hey.
Hey.
I'll be all for the automated vehicles to keep all these people off of 65 and 85 from texting and causing all the wrecks.
That would be another thing.
Yeah.
Could my robot text for me?
Hey, did you talking about medical malpractice? Did you happen to see the case from the man from Decatur, Alabama, recently? Anybody?
No.
Yeah, he was down in Destin with his wife, and they went down for the weekend, and he'd eaten some seafood. He started having stomach problems, and so got worse, and so they go to the emergency room. The ER doctor says, "Man, you need surgery right now. You're in bad shape." And so his wife says, "Well, wait a minute. Let me call our doctor back in Decatur." So she calls him, and he says, "Well, what do they want? What are they going to do to him? What are they wanting to do with surgery?" And she said, "They need to take his kidneys out." And he said, "Let me talk to the doctor." So he gets on. He says, "I know his medical history, and I think that's a little aggressive right now, don't you?" And he says, "No, we got to do it." So anyway, they do the surgery, and instead of taking out the kidney, they take out another organ by mistake.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
And then they try to cover it up, and he tells the family that organ was diseased, so he had to take it out. And now they found out that this same doctor had a similar issue of taking out the wrong organ at another hospital, but they covered it up, sent him on his way, and now in this hospital. And see, that happens all the time, and you never know it.
What was it, Dr. Mingala?
No, I do remember.
Well,
twice.
That's why if you're going to have any surgery done, you better mark it. Of course, you can't mark it on the inside. But, the thing about it is, y'all, nobody threatened to burn the hospital down. They'll pay out a bunch of money, but anytime a police officer's involved, they want to burn the police station down, put him in jail for making a mistake, and cost somebody their life. But anyway, y'all have a good weekend.
You do.
See you several days.
272-9228. Man, that's a horror story.
Yeah.
Never want to have that happen. So a Washington State woman had to flee her property after 50 to 100 raccoons descended on it and were acting aggressively.
Let me guess. She's been feeding some raccoons, Joey?
I don't know.
That'd be my guess.
I wonder if this video actually corresponds or if it's one of those fake videos. Let's try it out real quick.
The places that I saw looked like it was.
Yeah, it's see these websites.
I hate it when they
I
do that.
can't stand it. Anyway, sheriff deputies in Washington's Kitsap County frequently get calls about animals, loose livestock, problem dogs.
Yeah.
But the 911 call they received recently from a woman being hounded by dozens of raccoons swarming her in her home. The woman reported having to flee her property after 50 to 100 raccoons descended upon it and were acting aggressively, said Kevin McCarty, a spokesperson for the sheriff's office. She told deputies she started feeding a family of raccoons
There we go.
decades ago, and it was fine until about 6 weeks earlier when the number showing up went from a handful to around 100. Okay, this dumb woman.
So even in the animal kingdom, when you give things away for free, they will come and take advantage of it?
Yeah, I feel very little sympathy for her at the moment.
Thank you.
She said those raccoons were becoming increasingly more aggressive, demanding food, and they would hound her day and night, scratching at the outside of her home at the door. If she pulled up her car, they would surround the car, scratching at the car, surrounding her if she went from her front door to her car or went outside at all. They saw this as a food source now, so they kept coming back to it, and they kept expecting food. I feel like that's like a Kafka short story about American politics.
Pretty much.
I'm saying. Even in the animal kingdom.
Crazy.
You give things away for free, they will come and take advantage of it. But one, I don't know, maybe where she's at, maybe not legal, but where I'm at, one shotgun blast.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it's apparently illegal under state law to feed large carnivores such as bears or cougars, not necessarily raccoons.
You get a raccoon fat enough, though, man.
They don't recommend raccoons being fed.
Blast a few of them and get a nice rub.
All you got to
made.
do is,
Yeah.
I mean, I hate sounding that way, but.
Well, and do you think there are
They learn.
folks still holding out that, like, I'm going to have pet raccoon?
I know people like that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
I know- I've
think
known a
I
few
know
people
someone
with pet
with a
raccoons.
raccoon.
Like a pet chimp? Like,
No, see, those can rip off your face, Joey.
yes. In your genitals.
On
yeah,
purpose.
that too, but yeah.
No, that's what they do.
No, they go there first. Like they prioritize the eyes and the genitals.
Yeah.
So I'm
But
just
people are like, oh, he's cute.
nah.
Like women on dating websites.
And speaking of that, we have probably in the next hour coming up. I read this morning while eating my breakfast. Sex bomb, the collateral damage of OnlyFans' explosive success. It's been a 4-part series by Reuters. And I mean, the stories described are incredibly depraved. But you're also like, is it really OnlyFans? Because it seems like OnlyFans is acting like a surveillance system.
Yeah.
Thank
for
you.
this sort of stuff. Anyway, this part of the program brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And there at Alabama Home Mortgage, Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon are ready to help you with buying a home. Could be your first-time home buyer, or it could be it's not your first rodeo. Maybe you just moved into the area and you need to buy a spot. But you want somebody you can trust.
Right.
And somebody who can get the job done well and swiftly. That is Alabama Home Mortgage. They're second to none when it comes to their turnaround time. Pretty remarkable how quickly they can turn around a home purchase or a refinance deal. Yeah, a lot of folks have been on the fence about refinancing because interest rates, well, they've come down some. So it might be the time right now. Just call Kim and Madeline at 567-4223 and just have a conversation. Let them get to know you, your goals, and refinancing, and they can help you out, especially if you're a veteran in the area looking to take advantage of the VA home loan programs. They're hip to the latest ones. Again, that number, 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Like Kim and Madeline proved that to you today. NMLS number 1586368. an equal housing lender.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
Enjoy an evening of wine on the water at the 14th Annual Riverwalk Wine Festival, Friday, October 11th, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Union Station Train Shed. This event includes a variety of wine tastings, food vendors, and live music by DJ Wright and the Wesley Hill Band. Must be 21 or over to purchase a ticket. Tickets available online at mgmcityevents.com or montgomeryal.gov. Proceeds go to the Family Sunshine Center. Don't miss the fun. Brought to you by the City of Montgomery Department of Cultural Affairs.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Michael Cohen from Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Hey, Michael, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are y'all?
Doing quite well. The show is flying by. So what's the score there today, Cohen?
It's 28-7. We had a guy come in the other day. He'd already been all over town, all over online. Needed to upgrade his system, wanted some stuff moved around in his room. And, before he left, he's got a nice Samsung 85-inch television, a new Sony audio-video receiver. He's got Michael Jack scheduled to come out and do the install on Tuesday. And anyway, he was pleasantly surprised that we had better prices than where he'd been looking previously.
Well, and I love when folks discover that. It's like, wait, I get this sort of service and a better price? Like, what is this?
That's right. And those are crazy things that we try to take for granted here that everybody already knows, but evidently they don't. Or either they've got to get proven to again.
Right. But the word should be out now. I mean, how many years is it now? Almost 65?
Like 67.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
See, and this is it's a generational thing. My grandfather's bought from Cohen's, my dad's bought from Cohen's, I've directly myself bought from Cohen's, and it's because of the great prices, great service, and well, y'all just have cool stuff too, like on the entertainment and appliance side.
And Eddie was here the other day, and I was kind of preoccupied, but I should have taken him in there and shown him that 98-inch on the wall and let him see. Of course, if y'all ever do remotes, y'all could come here and get set up in one of the rooms.
Maybe if that massage chair got pushed up closer to that 98-inch TV, that'd be pretty interesting.
I don't want you making those sounds on air.
Come on, man. It'd be interesting. We
Interesting.
You don't really need both of them in the same room, because
that's true.
Either you're going to be awake and watch TV, or your eyes are going to be back in your head.
Good point.
So, folks, you can check out all these products at thinkcohens.com. But, for instance, something like a massage chair, you can see it online, but there's nothing like actually sitting in it. Or, 98-inch TV.
Hey, that's a TV.
Looking at it on your phone or your little computer monitor. No, go see it in person. at 2515 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery. And they're open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturdays. And be sure to find Michael and say, hey, I heard you on the radio with Joey and Eddie.
That's right. Y'all come see us.
We'll do it.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Have a
Michael.
great weekend.
You too, buddy.
Let's go to John from Wetumpka. Hey, John.
Hey, good afternoon. Listen, y'all were on a topic earlier, I think, about the lack of knowledge that people have now, and they have the whole world in their hand.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I'm around young people, 8th grade to 12th grade, a lot. And the reason why that's the case is because they don't seek knowledge. They seek to be entertained and to socialize. It's not about that. And that's why they don't know very much.
Yeah,
They don't
and
know how
they
to
can
communicate very well either.
essentially tickle themselves all day.
Right. And they're drawn to it. It's an obsession with them. They're always wanting to socialize, and they're always wanting to be entertained as a result. That's why it's so hard in class to keep the attention of young people, because they're accustomed to being entertained all the time.
That's true. Good point.
And it's really difficult for a teacher. And I teach a couple of classes. I'm a retired teacher, but I'm teaching a couple now. And I've found that if they don't know something, it's there for them. They just don't care. And it makes them poor communicators, too, because they've got this own shorthand language that they use, and it is such a part of them that they can't write a letter or even a text well, or they certainly can't write an email very well. They don't know how to punctuate. They don't know how to capitalize. They don't know how to put together coherent thoughts and go transition from one thing to the other. And you have to teach them how to do that, because they don't know how.
It's a shame.
That's right.
Yeah, and it's sort of suggesting, here's your future. Get ready.
Yeah. The knowledge is there, and they could easily learn how to do it. They just don't because of that. And I don't guess they're picking it up somewhere. Case in point, last week, we wrote some thank you notes. None of them in there knew how to address a letter.
That's interesting.
They didn't know where to put it. I got them to do it. I assumed that, and I shouldn't have. And they put the address at the top of it. They didn't know you were supposed to put the address to which is intended in the middle, and a return address in the top left-hand corner. They had no idea. And so we had to tear up the envelopes and redo it again.
That's
They
less
never
fr-
mailed
that's
a letter
certainly
in their
less
life.
frightening than just the inability that a lot of young people have to communicate. I mean, as much I enjoy handwriting letters, especially with a fountain pen. I have a wax seal. I do the full regalia when I write my
Can't
letters.
you tell? This is very
I think it's very fancy, but it is an antiquated way of communicating. But I do think you're spot on though. The inability, the lack of command of language that young people have today is just astonishing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
it is.
It's so bad.
Well, the basic skills. What he was saying is something with being a landlord. I've had tenants before. I had to teach not to send me cash in the mail. I had to tell them to get a money order. I had to explain to them what a money order was and where to go get it. Then they would just send me blank money orders. I had to go back and explain to them how. And these are not dumb people. They just didn't know.
Right.
And I mean, to his point, I don't know when I was taught that, but I know I was taught that. No one,
Well,
at some point in my life.
You don't take Cash App or Venmo, you antiquated boob.
We'll talk about that off air. That was pre-Cash App.
Well, another thing is the verbal part of it, because you don't have young people calling in talk shows of any kind because they can't communicate very well.
Yeah, fam.
It's not that they don't have views, they don't know how to communicate it, because they don't know how to
Can't
really
articulate it.
converse with someone and go back and forth. They don't know how to do that.
Yeah, but if
Right.
you can't communicate your views, you don't deserve to have them.
As we're having this conversation, gentlemen, I look up on the TV and it's Wayne Brady and Let's Make a Deal. And I'm like, no, this is our nation. This is the country. Like, they're not bad people, but everybody's so silly and entertained to death.
I watch Hoda and Jenna in the morning.
Oh, Lord.
Because in my gym the TVs are already on, and I don't
You have
change
no
them because
choice.
I'm watching like Netflix. But I look up and I see it, and I'm like, there are tens of thousands of bona fide dummies who wake up every day and it's like, I gotta watch my Hoda and Jenna, and it is just mind cancer. Those dumb dunderheads just clapping. Oh, look at this! We found the world record hula hooper, and she's here today. Meanwhile, it's like Israel's on fire, and there's missiles going off, and it's like, do you want to know how to make pumpkin spice and cinnamon rolls? I can't do it. It's the rage. It fuels the workouts.
Yeah.
Well, that's another thing. If I may bring it up.
Yeah.
Our talk show hosts and our hosts on different programs on television have gone way down too.
I'll agree with that.
You don't talk about Caitlin Collins that way.
And how they dress is inexcusable from what I'm accustomed to.
I think he's talking about us. I apologize. I'm sorry. I came in here for a commercial and they didn't let me leave.
I think he's talking about the thought pockets on Fox News. They really started the whole trend. Let's be honest. You know.
Well, the sports shows are atrocious, are terrible. The ESPN has gone down in their ability to be able to communicate and have qualified people on there. They use any kind of grammar they want to.
Country grammar?
A little. Yeah, they don't know the King's English, that's for sure.
Well, John, I appreciate the call, man. Got to hit my break.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
We'll be right back, folks. No, seriously. Oh, the girl wearing a hamburger outfit won the motorcycle.
It's an EV bike. It doesn't count.
I don't know.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Jason Walker. A military investigation concluding now. 2 Navy SEALs drowned as they tried to climb aboard a ship with an illicit Iranian-made weapon to Yemen because of training failures and a lack of understanding about what to do after a fall into deep, turbulent waters while weighted down. Relatives of passengers who died in Boeing MAX crashes calling on a judge today to throw out a plea agreement they say is a sweetheart deal for Boeing. Federal judge in Washington hearing arguments on that plea. It calls for Boeing to pay a $244 million fine. Wholesale prices in the United States unchanged last month, and a sign inflation may be getting back to normal. That after years of pressuring America's households in the wake of COVID-19. This is SRN News.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit. 800-885-3333. That's 800-885-3333. 800-885-3333.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, where dump truck drivers are in demand. Wiley Sanders is on the grow. We need dump truck drivers now. Call 855-77-9785.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Definitely time to wear either a sweater or a jacket or, a sweatshirt. It'll be chilly later on tonight with the overnight low temperature down to about 50, mostly clear skies. Plenty of sunshine, up to about 83 for a high on Saturday, 87 on Sunday with abundant sunshine, 50s at night. Then on Columbus Day Monday, a dry cold front moves through the area, delivering the coolest Canadian air of the season with a high around 69 by midweek on Wednesday, with the Wednesday morning low down to 45. It's coming. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Thank you for voting ASC Credit Union the best credit union in the River Region 6 years in a row. As we celebrate our 70th anniversary, we are proud to be at the top of the list for the best credit union in the hearts of the communities we serve.
1819 News.
Montgomery Mayor Stephen Reed is urging Alabama's business community to support repealing the permitless carry law, which allows concealed carry without a permit. He voiced concerns about public safety, especially for law enforcement, during a Chamber of Commerce event. Reed recently backed an ordinance requiring photo IDs for concealed carry and noted the rising gun violence in Alabama, especially in urban areas. He believes the business community can influence state lawmakers and advocate for effective gun reform. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Alabama Unfiltered Radio, and when I need the news and I need it fast, I turn to Andrea Tice and the Daily Detail. On my way in, it is the most convenient, best way for me to digest what's going on so that I can use it for our show. She tells you what's going on in Alabama that day first and fast. So listen to the Daily Detail with Andrea Tice. Don't miss out.
The Daily Detail is available wherever podcasts are found.
Alabama has launched a website for its school voucher-like program called the Choose Act. It provides information on eligibility, online applications, and deadlines. The program, signed into law by Governor Kay Ivey in March, offers education savings accounts to help eligible families cover private school tuition, tutoring, or transfer fees to other public schools. Applications for education service providers are now open for the 2025-26 school year. Family applications start on January 2nd. The program prioritizes students with special needs and dependents of active duty military service members. I'm Katie Hyde in for Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Hello, everyone. Robbie Pelt with Capital City Roofing. If you think about it, your home is your biggest investment in life. Your roof covers your home, so why jeopardize your biggest investment on a roofer you don't know anything about when you can deal with a reputable roofing company like Capital City Roofing? We have an A+ Better business rating and the best manufacturers and workmanship warranties available. We do all residential and commercial roofing applications that are certified through the manufacturer to ensure you get the best material and workmanship money can buy. We also have your project in our best interest before and after construction has been done. Don't hesitate to call us if you have any roofing issues or questions. We will match any of our competitors' price and give you the same great workmanship warranty. We also give free estimates. Give us a call today and let us show you the difference. 277-3311. That's 277-3311. Or you can check us out on the web at www.capitalcityroofing.com. Capital City Roofing. We capitalize the roofing industry.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
You want free speech? Let's see you acknowledge a man whose words make your blood boil, who's standing center stage and advocating at the top of his lungs that which you would spend a lifetime opposing at the top of yours.
I'm a better looking person than Kamala.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back into the program. I'm your host, Joey Clark. If you're just tuning in online, got a nice audience this afternoon online. This is just a local talk radio show out of Montgomery, Alabama, of all places. But we cover local topics sometimes, but we cover pretty much everything in news and events. And coming up, we got plenty of conversation to be had because, you know, as cool as it is, our conversation we were having about innovation, you look at what is happening to the everyday American, and you have to worry that we are not going in the right direction in terms of our mental health, in terms of our physical health. Like, there are a lot of big problems. And where I go back and forth on this is how much of it is systemic. Like, how much of it is, like, say, with the food supply, the corporations have bought and paid for all the scientific studies, and they control essentially the pipeline, especially through food stamps and the farm bills they always pass. Is that the problem? Is that why Americans are so fat or have such metabolic disorder? Or is it like what people choose to do? Like, where does personal responsibility play into this? So that, I think that's always the counterweight, is how much of it is a system.
I'm fat.
But then how much of it is like your own fat choices.
Me being fat, why was that a problem for you? You don't look like looking at me fat? What? I mean, I'm fat.
How much you cost?
I pay my own way. I
For
don't cost you
insurance?
Nothing. No, my wife pays my own way.
Actually, and I think that is the secret. Freedom is a secret. It removes the moral hazard out of a lot of these problems.
Yeah. I mean, and I watched the memes on the Joe Rogan Experience, and they went through this, and some of what they said was just nonsense, but the vast majority of what they said was absolutely correct. But it is always sort of frustrating whenever people do try to blame the government for their own gluttony, and that's essentially what you're doing. It's like, oh, you know, we have a poison food supply. What they said about the pesticides and all that, 100%. Like, no bueno. But is there a sentient being who doesn't know that, you know, peas and carrots are better for you than Pop-Tarts?
Yeah, right. Even with the food supply, can I look at labels and read non-GMOs if that's what I'm looking after? I mean, isn't it a matter of, honestly, personal
Yeah, but even the
responsibility?
GMO thing, I'm not sure that's a big deal. I think what the ingredients, especially the ones in the dyes, that's a huge problem.
Yeah.
What do you think about the
pesticides.
oils?
The seed oil thing is I'm fine if you want to say I'm avoiding seed oils, but they actually have done studies on these where they found them to be benign. The problem is it's a chicken or egg question, and people are looking at the wrong thing, because seed oils simply became a very cheap and effective way of adding fat, i.e. flavor, into a lot of these processed foods. So yeah, with the consumption of seed oils did come all of these metabolic issues, but that's only because you tend to find seed oils in junk food mostly.
Right, in the highly palatable stuff.
Correct. They're very high because it's really easy, but you'd have the same problem if you were to add butter to whatever. I mean, because again, at the end of the day, the reason why people are metabolically unhealthy is because they're fat. It's not the other way around. And I remember one of the things they say is like, oh, you can't get fat eating steak and eggs. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can. I've seen it happen.
I've done it myself.
Yes, I've done it myself as well. It absolutely can happen. So they've, and speaking of they kind of poo-pooed on the studies for good reasons. Like, we don't need a double-blind placebo-controlled study to find out that atrazine probably isn't the best thing in the world for us. That being said, they actually have done studies where they've taken people that were overweight. They fed them exclusively fast food, but they fed them at a caloric deficit. They lost body fat, and every single one of their health metrics improved. Every single one. That's the problem. We're too
Overeating.
fat.
Yeah.
We're too fat. And the reason we're too fat is because we have unlimited access to the tastiest foods that have ever existed on the planet. And when you have a human mechanism that is designed to seek out tasty food, they're going to eat as much of it as they can.
Like, this is in the studio right
so-
here. I have not touched it. Craig has not touched it.
No, I did.
Eddie's already
I
pulled.
brought
You
it.
ate a Twizzler, right?
Yes.
And y'all snack on candy during Greg's show.
No, we're doing a thing now where we're telling people what's good candy to have for Halloween. So we're advising
Okay.
people.
And actually, it takes 3 pieces of Twizzler, only 90 calories.
How
That's
much
not
is like
bad.
a Hershey
That's not
bar,
too
though?
bad.
That's not bad at all. Hershey, 4 pieces, 170 calories.
Yeah, it's getting up there.
And honestly, it
And it adds up quick.
Those are mini, so 4, they're going pretty quick.
Wait, so if you had to pick one out of that bag, Joey, what would it be?
Like, for my taste?
Yeah, which would
Reese's
it be?
peanut butter cup.
Yeah, peanut butter cup.
Now, what about Pieces? Are you a Reese's Pieces guy?
not really.
I like
They make me
Reese's
angry.
Pieces on things.
Like ice cream.
Like ice cream or pancake or a waffle.
Ooh,
Like, have you ever had a Reese's Pieces waffle?
No, but now you got
That'd
me
be
thinking.
good.
Oh, yeah, it's really
that
good.
sounds awesome.
Real good.
Anyway, we'll come back to this because it's not just the food, like health aspect of things. I seriously am going to get to this this OnlyFans story, because it's like, yeah, if you go down certain rabbit holes, it's depraved and you're going to hurt yourself and the people you love and all this stuff. But how much is it the fault of the company and how much is it your own fault? It makes you really wonder. So, no, and sometimes you can go, well, it's a company. Sometimes you go,
if you know better.
Right.
You genuinely know better. You know.
Let's go to Duke. Hey, Duke, how you doing?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good. I'm enjoying the conversation, fellas.
What's your favorite type of candy?
My favorite type of candy?
Mm.
Yeah. I don't know.
You don't
all
know?
Candy. I like all candy.
He's a payday kind of guy.
Payday?
I used to like the candy called butternut.
Butternut?
Back in the day. Mm-hmm. You don't know nothing about that one. You still got milk sitting on your breast, huh?
Honestly, I don't even want to. I'm good. You can keep your butternuts.
Can you get it at Cracker Barrel? Because you know they got the old
No,
candy
they
there.
stopped making them. I think Snickers probably bought them out. They kind of taste like Snickers.
Ah,
a little
gotcha.
bit.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but those are the best candy bars to me in the world. But I like a little chocolate kind of stuff. You know?
Yeah, chocolate's good.
You know, but I don't eat much candy, you know, anyway. Yep. I look over at my wife. I just, just enough sugar for me right there, boy.
Okay. There you
Smart
go.
man.
Yeah. But y'all was talking about these robots earlier, and my mind was somewhere everywhere on some of that stuff right there now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I'm gonna be a good boy today.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, one thing I wanted to talk about really was you talking about what's going wrong. We started out putting phones and technology and all kind of games in our kids' hands at 2 years old, 3. So, when have the last time you guys seen any kids outside playing, wrestling with each other in the backyard? The boys used to wrestle all the time. You know, y'all see any of that anymore?
Just
not
at
much.
my
I
house.
see it-
Sometimes I'll see
See it
kids
with,
walking the dog in the
Yeah, my
neighborhood. and
grandkids.
stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody got that in their hand. Everybody, everywhere you go, people, they just sitting around, everybody looking down at that phone.
Yep.
No exercise. What you expect?
Yeah. The problem ultimately is it's a discipline problem because all of these things that we're talking about with OnlyFans things, I mean, which is
Or
ultimately
social
just-
media in general.
Well, it's
Yeah.
just ultimately it's just sex, social media, food, alcohol, technology. You have to have the ability to form a true master servant relationship out of those tools, otherwise they will consume you. And 99.9% of the population, they don't have the ability to make themselves the master and these tools the servant.
But as a parent, though, Mr. Craig, if you raise that child from birth with that tool in their hand, you can't go take it away when they get 13, 14, 15, when they need to be in the books.
But I think you'd be about half a damn fool to give your 10, 11, 12-year-old a smartphone. Like, that ain't
They're going to
happening.
tell you get out of their space, son. Get out of my space and get out of my room.
But
Wait, in what
that's a
universe?
parental
Hold
thing,
up.
but
In
yeah,
what
that might
universe
be.
does that happen? Where there's not just fists and boots and just all sorts of objects flying towards the general direction of the child. Like, that's not even not in
Your room, I paid for it.
Exactly. Have you ever had your parents take your door away?
Take your door away. Yes, been there. Take the door
I
away.
saw a little boy clown on his mom in the grocery store one day, boy.
Oh,
He looked to
man.
be about 3 or 4 years old. Shoot, man. He got on the floor and went kicking and going on, and everybody, I asked, did she need a belt?
Yeah.
Oh, she said he just tired.
No.
Oh,
No.
I can't tell you how many times I've legitimately considered Pele kicking the head off of some kid in a Walmart. And just look at this dumb, befuddled parent looking like, I don't know what to do with this.
Yeah.
I do.
By the way, folks, Craig is hungry today.
Yeah, I'm a little
Sorry I showed the candy in front of you.
I didn't shove the candy in his
but
face.
it shows that these intrusive thoughts, they pop up more when because I've been in a deficit too.
Yeah.
It pops up a lot
So
more.
I keep some candy with you.
I went on a heck
No,
of a
I'm
rant.
good.
Duke, did you hear my rant about the fat, ugly women at the gas station getting their chicken?
I heard you, boy. I heard you.
Man.
I said, Moo Moo. And Moo Moo didn't like that, Joey. Moo Moo did not like that at all.
You can get over it.
Nah.
I want my crispy, crunchy
Yeah.
chicken.
But she won't. And you were in her way.
And my Marlboro cigarettes.
Oh God, do you remember when we went to the Brazilian steakhouse and I had to stop at the Subway to get a soda?
Yes.
I went inside, man. The Indians that were working behind the counter having this big argument with these two very overweight black ladies, and they were arguing about I want my bread crispy or something. Like I couldn't. It was the funniest thing ever. And I'm like, can I cut in line? I just want this bottle of soda.
And that is America, ain't it? Like a fast food joint or a convenience store.
Yeah.
Like the gas station convenience store, man, you're going to see all of America in there.
Oh, yeah. Yes, you are. Waffle House.
Waffle House used to be turned. When they allowed smoking in there, it was a crazy
body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Craig, you ever eaten one of those pickled pig feet at the corner store?
Oh yeah, dude. I ate pig. I was having this conversation with my fellow reporters the other day. I used to eat chicken and pig feet like pretty regularly, like almost every week. I love chicken and pig feet.
Now, where does the pig feet on the healthy level?
What
now
about
that
the
you
pig
know all
lips
that?
and all that?
Say that again, Duke.
What about the pig lips?
Can't say that I have. It's likely, but
same
not
there.
specifically.
Yeah. But it's healthy. I mean, it's all
I
salt,
mean, it's
right?
pretty much just fat, like
Okay.
the pig feet. There's actually, the French took hog's trotter and made it a really, really fine dish.
Really?
Yeah, when you slow roast it and then you stuff it with like sweetbreads, it's really good.
Wow.
It has a very when you cook it, it has a really good consistency.
So.
You never eaten hog lips, dude?
No, I can eat the pig lips. No, I can. It looks.
He ain't been hungry.
Ever had you ever eaten
Well, I
hog
just had to-
corkscrew?
I hope not.
I like the oysters, oysters and all that good stuff. You know, and,
Pig ear, hog
you know.
ear is good. Like
Yeah, it is.
cold pickled,
That's better
deep
grill.
fried.
Jowl. Pig jowl
Yeah.
is fantastic.
Have you ever had deep fried pig ears? Ooh, you got to. It's
I remember
almost
in
like
South
a fresh
Carolina we had
cracked
those
one.
big pork rinds, the big
Well, say like,
but they still have
say
hair
like
on them.
pork skin or something.
Yeah, but it's actually got better a better crunch to
Oh, really?
it because it's the ear. So you got
Got
that
a
little
little
bit
meat
of
in there?
oh yeah. So deep fried pig ear, that's a
Okay,
good way
put
to
it on
go.
my list.
Anyway,
I might creep out
Put
to
some
the
hot
salad
sauce
and
on
not even one of the turkey legs though, for real though.
I've never liked them turkey legs. They
always
sit them out
dry.
too long and they
Yeah.
get dry.
Yep.
They ain't good as they used to be though.
No, they're not.
You know.
I think turkey
Yeah.
as a food is I think
Yeah.
it's pretty
See,
pretty low.
fair
in the
food,
totem
I always
pole.
go with the Polish sauce.
Right.
Or the fried Twinkie. Or the Oreo. That was
Yeah, I
pretty
don't
good.
like
Fried
all that.
Oreos, yeah.
Fried Oreo was
We've established is I don't think that Joey has ever been hungry because he's like, oh, when I'm craving something, I want I want chips and dip. It's like meanwhile I want a hamburger made with Krispy Kreme donuts. That's what I want.
They are delicious.
Sounds like you're not the master.
Have you ever had a donut grilled cheese?
No, I just had the donut cheeseburger.
that
and
sounds
was
good.
the bomb.
Yeah, get you some cake donuts and Krispy Kreme. Try them both because they're both good. And make a grilled cheese with them.
I did the Krispy Kreme. The cake donut, I haven't tried. It would be just as good. Krispy Kreme.
Oh,
something
Craig,
about that sugar
Craig
coming
sound like
on
he
it.
know about some eating, don't he?
Oh yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does.
I be listening to him up in here. Boy,
You don't get a body like Craig by sitting on the bench when it comes to eat.
I know how to eat, which is why I don't do it as much as I'd like. But once a week, I get to
what
go
you mean
crazy.
you don't eat as much as you like to eat every day, don't you?
Yeah,
But,
I don't get to
everything
eat,
he wants.
I don't get
He
to
has
eat as
discipline like
much as
nobody.
I want.
What is this show at this point? Eddie's over here. Nobody like your body, baby. Like what is this?
Say it. You don't get a body like Craig by sitting on the bench.
He's a
That
man.
puts himself in the game when it comes to eating.
He's a man who recognizes beauty in other men. It's okay.
It's okay.
Now, Joe,
In the
back-
game?
back to
You
Joe.
said
In
the game?
In
Oh,
the
okay.
game.
Right.
Yeah.
Now back to Joe for a minute here.
Oh.
Joe, we was talking about those robots when I first came on.
Yeah,
for a
yeah.
minute. What kind would you want, sir?
Oh, just a little helper.
Yeah, help. What kind of help, though?
Just help around the house.
He'd be,
Mow the
like,
grass.
Male,
he'd be
female,
like
what-
Paulie
what-
in
what
Rocky
we talking about?
Yes, Polly. Here's your margarita, Joey. More triple sec, woman.
That's right.
I mean, we can chip in now. We can make this thing. How much they cost?
Like 30 grand, did he say?
Yeah, start out 30 grand.
30. I got a couple.
No, I already
things.
said it. I want I want a robot that's like an Eeyore, like depressed in the midst of an existential crisis.
Find out where to take food stamps.
No, but I guarantee you within a year they'll
I
finance
put the
them.
food stamp on my part. I'm thinking I can sign up and give them some food stamps started up. I put mine, helped you out on that. We get that robot for you, sir.
Well, I appreciate the thought, but I haven't decided whether or not I want a little helper around the house. I appreciate the call, dude.
I need me one of them for real though.
Me too.
Everybody need one of those for real though.
Mowing the grass,
or something,
breaking the leaves.
or something. Yeah, it's dangerous. I wouldn't actually, to be honest though. I'm just cutting up with y'all on that stuff, but it's kind of dangerous that we going down that road too far.
Yeah,
a little spooky.
Yeah, it is.
Future baby.
Well, I appreciate it, Duke.
All right, fellas.
Have a great weekend, brother.
Joey wants himself Marvin the Paranoid Android. That's what he wants.
That is exactly what I want.
That's what you're after.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's like if you can like customize it, people are gonna get real weird.
saying.
I want my life to be the Mighty Boosh. Okay, that's what I want my life to be.
Speaking of which, there's gonna be an android that talks just like old Greg.
Right. Well, Greg,
I got this margarita for you.
Or the tale of Milky Joe, and like he's miserable, he's insufferable. He talks about Sartre all day.
And then someone's just gonna like download the like.
Oh, the Mr. T. I want the Mr. T version of it.
Well, some people are gonna get real offensive with it, and they're gonna take like roots, and they're gonna they're gonna put that in there, and it's not gonna be good.
So, I just want to read the opening of this.
Okay.
Because I was eating my breakfast this morning, and here's Reuters. It's not like Jezebel or Salon or Vanity Fair, even Reuters.
I thought you said Reuters, like people that take anabolic steroids. I'm like, I would read this.
No, this is a fourth iteration of a Reuters report on OnlyFans, and it starts with the porn-heavy website says it has prospered by building a nicer, kinder community for creators and consumers. Yet OnlyFans has also upended people's lives. Reuters delves into U.S. police files to reveal stories of financial ruin, family trauma, and extreme behavior. So here's the first story. Melinda Lamb's husband had a secret. Lamb said she discovered it after a credit card payment for her son's karate lessons was declined in December 2021. That led the 46-year-old pharmacist from Colorado to check the account she shared with her husband. At least 6 credit cards were maxed out, she said, and nearly $40,000 had been drained from their savings. One card statement suggested where the money might have gone. It says OnlyFans, 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 recalled Lamb, who was then undergoing chemotherapy for breast cancer. Her husband would ultimately spend $135,000 on porn creators on OnlyFans, the subscription-based website. Lamb said she was prepared for filing bankruptcy and finalizing a divorce. Not only was it shocking, she said, it was devastating. OnlyFans and its supporters portray the platform as a safe and empowering outlet for lucrative, socially acceptable sex work. Nurses, teachers, police officers, and Olympic athletes have posted racy content in pursuit of extra cash. As OnlyFans takes porn into the mainstream, however, the platform has also generated ripple effects that have upended lives in unexpected and sometimes traumatizing ways. So, okay, you see the framing here.
Yep.
When I heard that story, I'm like, no, that guy's a piece of crap.
Yeah.
Like, and OnlyFans was the outlet in this particular case. But I had a feeling that guy would have maxed out the credit card some way.
Would it be gambling, something else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It used to be gambling. I
Right.
mean, you heard that story about gambling growing up all the time.
Yep. Exactly.
He's not a victim in other words, he's not a victim.
Right.
And
And
his cancer-riddled wife who had to declare bankruptcy, she's a victim.
so, and you could go on. There was one guy, essentially, finally, he was arrested for bestiality. Pitbull. And,
the rapper? Oh, sorry.
No. Something with a pit bull. I'm not to describe it. It says it in the article exactly.
I
what's in
think
the
our
video.
imaginations can do the rest.
Yeah, and they're like, well, bestiality is outlawed in all states except West Virginia.
West Virginia.
And I'm like, wait. OnlyFans is responsible for the existence of bestiality? Like, every story they give, like, another guy was trying to do something in a gym. Like, you know, create a sexual video, onanistic one in a gym. And this woman who caught him doing it was like, what the hell are you doing? He runs away, and turns out they couldn't find him, that police jurisdiction. Few jurisdictions over, he's arrested for another case of indecent exposure. And I'm like, why is this in a story about OnlyFans? Like, yeah, the guy's posting it there, but it's kind of like, it's almost like acting like a surveillance system for these sorts of freaks and degenerates. I don't know. This genie got out of the bottle, so to speak.
Yeah.
a long time ago with the internet.
Yeah. But even before then, we became a prurient society long before that. I think, when people would watch these sort of celebrity crime stories, OJ being a big one, obviously the Menendez brothers that everyone's talking about because of the documentary or the docuseries. I think that just as a society, we've gotten more and more prurient, and this is the natural result of that impulse without discipline, like I said.
No, and I think it is not a sign that we're going towards something good. I think with our technology, you could create a remarkable society.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think
we're going the other way. We're taking our technology and doing everything wrong with it.
Right. It's like list the seven deadly sins, and there you go.
Right. Well, with AI, just AI, for instance, why hasn't anyone come up with an AI program that will read these bills that get before the House when these people, our membership says, this bill's so thick, I can't read it before we have time to pass it or not? Why is there not an AI program for you and me? The AI programs seem to be all against you and I, not helping you and I in any kind of way.
Now, another story has to do with people stealing identities. So creating AI porn and putting it on OnlyFans, and folks are like, "Is this you?" And like, it kind of looks like me, but that's not me.
Yeah.
And again, that's another issue of the technology,
which is a horrible situation, but it's also great for plausible deniability. It's like, that's not me, that's AI.
Deep fake.
Yeah.
Now, this story is insane. I'll just redirect. Again, this is from Reuters. Sometimes OnlyFans creators themselves are left traumatized. In March 2020, as U.S. cities went into pandemic lockdown, a 21-year-old Seattle woman lost her job as a restaurant server. Seeking a quick way to make ends meet, she created an OnlyFans page and posted sexy photos of herself. Soon, she said, a man paid $25 a month to subscribe to her account. He also began messaging her directly on the platform, saying he'd pay extra for racier videos. He was obsessed with me, said the woman, who spoke on the condition she be identified by her initials, DW, to preserve her privacy. After about a year and a half, she closed her OnlyFans account.
All right.
Yeah, okay. She didn't like it. She said, I got tired of it. It just wasn't for me. But the arrangement with her most enthusiastic fan continued after he found her on Instagram. She still needed money, she said, and he paid well, about $10,000.
All right.
For explicit photos and videos of her for more than 2 years. What are you wearing? Because I know you need more money, he messaged her on Instagram, according to a screenshot from Seattle police. He would send me messages like, I wish we were in bed together. I wish I could build a family with you. In July 2022, the man phoned her on Instagram. I guess you can do that. According to a Seattle Police Department report and screenshots DW provided to Reuters. This is your Uncle Eugene, he said, according to her account to the police. He was the husband of her mother's sister. She couldn't believe it. I screamed and I was like, how could you do this to me? He responded, I'm sorry, I'm a sick person. Sick. I think it is too on the surface. I'm not saying, at this point in my life, you want to ban OnlyFans, you come away to do it, go for it, I suppose, man. It's not like I'm defending OnlyFans here. My point is, I think that's just a symptom of something much deeper and sick.
Yeah. And how many things are we going to classify as a disease or an ailment or an illness? Can't you just be a selfish scumbag?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, and this is coming from someone, drug addict, alcoholic. I've sat in the rooms. I've done the steps. Been, hi, my name's Craig. I'm an alcoholic. All that good stuff. It's not a disease. It just simply isn't. It is a compulsion that you have to gain mastery of. That just the same way you have to gain mastery of your sexual impulses or your eating impulses. All of it. We are a decadent society that has lost any semblance of self-control.
Well, and people have being a servant, or use the harsher word, slave. There are folks that I think play into that. Like, they have to serve something.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I've heard the term before, slave for Christ.
Yeah.
And so there is something of like, okay, if you're going to be a servant, if you're going to give yourself over to something completely, maybe make it something that's the highest.
I don't even think it's servant. It's worship.
Yeah.
Like man was created to worship.
And so
if
you end up
don't-
worshiping false idols.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And that's, I mean, how else do you describe that behavior? You spend $110,000 on random thoughts on the internet when your wife is sitting next to you dying of cancer. That is the only type of crazy, I'm losing the word, but that's the only type of fanaticism that can come from worship.
Right.
Which is, again, great when crafted and oriented in the proper way into the heavens, if you will. But whenever it lands on this terrestrial field, it always ends up in a Diddy situation where you have to keep chasing the next profundity.
Yeah.
It really is just sad.
Yeah, chasing the dragon, so to speak.
Yeah, we've all been there, right? Right, Eddie?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And so I have to say this Reuters reporting it's very well done, very well written. It's disturbing. I've only shared, like that story I just shared, very disturbing. I've only scratched the surface. I'm not going to keep going. You can read the report for yourself if you're interested. But it's again another symptom of a sort of rising darkness that's all over the place. And when I first saw, like, okay, let's put the blame on the big company, it's kind of like, well, who told you to do that? Well, the serpent told me to do that.
Yeah.
Eve told me to do it. It's like there is an aspect of responsibility to all of this.
Lord, it was the smartphone that thou didst give me.
Right. Right.
It's like I have a smartphone, like people, the same thing people talk about with porn addiction, and the OnlyFans thing has taken over porn addiction because there's actually a very popular influencer that I follow. His name is Larry Wheels, and he's just guy who's fun, jacked, strong,
I know.
strong as all get out, crazy fun guy, and he was like, he was spending all of his income on those cam sites, which is essentially like OnlyFans, but it's like a live stream of cam sites, and just can't he just that compulsion. He couldn't stop. He was spending hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars on this. And you're talking about a guy who's obviously very disciplined.
Right, but not in there.
But
not in
there.
that aspect. Yeah.
It takes an orientation to worshiping that which is worthy of worship in order for you to gain the proper perspective. Because I have access to all of the same things that these people have. I have access to all the porn I could want. I have access to all the cam girls. I have access to all this. I have it in my pocket, and it's sitting right in front of me right now, and I don't do it.
Well, and again, as much as we see like the robot reveal and you're like, oh, it's cool, I could help around the house, or was it collecting information on me? Folks are saying we haven't seen this since the Black Death, the age of depopulation. And more, it's not just the United States, it's everywhere. It's China, it's Japan. The net mortality rate is crazy. Society experiences more deaths than births. It's becoming the new norm. Shift over to another headline. Embryos made without sperm or eggs, are they human? You know, I've written some stuff that's dramatic. Some folks might be thinking, oh, he's being... No, I think creeping under the surface of a lot of stuff is something incredibly inhuman and evil. And as much as I believe in innovation and we can't make the world better, there's got to be a correction of the conscience, of the soul. And I'm not, me, I'm not the guy who's like, give your life to Jesus. Like, I'm not.
I am. Do it.
Right.
It's great.
But there's a certain point where you start to think, we're not putting the first things first.
Yeah.
But we're worshiping second.
But people that gave their life to Jesus built the society that all these people are taking a dump on right now.
Right.
So which way, Western man?
Right. We'll see. I guess we'll see. By the way, one of the craziest conversations, I don't know if you heard this one, Craig, I've listened to was Tucker Carlson talking to John Rich and Russell Brand. And it was kind of nuts.
Yeah. Russell Brand he's had a weird journey the past couple months. A couple years, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he just converted to Catholicism?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it was actually Catholicism or what. I didn't pay that much attention. After Kanye, I stopped taking celebrity conversions that seriously.
Right.
But we'll see. But I mean, it is amazing that he was sort of very progressive, new agey, and now he's at least solidified in something. So it'll be interesting to see what he does.
Indeed. Hey, this part of the program brought to you by Clearwater's Property Management. And there at Clearwater's, Reed Waters and the team are ready to help you out with tree trimming or just complete on tree removal. Could be a tree that's already fallen or one that you're worried about falling on your property, especially if it's running the risk of hitting your home or, say, the carport or your cars at some untimely moment. Or it could be you're looking for stump grinding. So you're tired of that ugly stump. Again, tree trimming, stump grinding, full-on tree removal. They can do it all there at Clearwater's Property Management. Call them today at 430-0376. That's 430-0376. And be sure to tell them that, you heard about him here on the radio from that Joey guy.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
The new 2025 models are arriving at Larry Puckett Chevrolet. But to make sure you get the one you want, call 334-285-9300. They're selling before they get to the dealership, so be sure you get yours locked in today. Larry Puckett also has the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the river region. There's still a lot of football left. If you don't trust your old clunker to get you to Auburn, Tuscaloosa, Troy, and the away games, a vehicle from Larry Puckett's pre-owned inventory will get you where you want to go. Larry Puckett always lets their customers do the talking, and you will certainly want everyone to know about the great prices, selection, and service once you buy from Larry Puckett Chevrolet. Stop by and see them on Cobbs Ford Road in Prattville, or shop them online at LarryPuckett.com. The new 2025 models are arriving at Larry Puckett Chevrolet. Pick yours out today. Shop them online at LarryPuckett.com. Larry Puckett Chevrolet, Cobbs Ford Road in Prattville.
This is your roving reporter, and today I am talking with an elk. Hey man, Mr. Elk, I was just wondering, what do elk do to take care of their money? Well, like most smart folks, we call David Ernest. You mean Alabama's most favorite asset preservationist? That's him, man. We call him up at 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. I see. Yes, he is our preferred money man. The money man with the money plan. You've been paying attention. Well, could you give us those numbers one more time? 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And I just want to try to give you a heads up, man. Oh, what's that? I'm not an elk. Not an elk, huh? Well, then, pray tell, what are you? Knights of Columbus. I am not even going to make a comment. Well, the baby liked it.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Clark Heating, Air and Plumbing. Fall is officially here, and it's time to get your system ready for the winter. Call today about the advantages of the Clark Club membership to be sure you're covered. Call 277-2125 or go to clarkcomfort.com. Better call Clark. Alabama certification number 09098.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Definitely time to wear either a sweater or a jacket or, a sweatshirt. It'll be chilly later on tonight with the overnight low temperature down to about 50, mostly clear skies. Plenty of sunshine, up to about 83 for a high on Saturday, 87 on Sunday with abundant sunshine, 50s at night. Then on Columbus Day Monday, a dry cold front moves through the area, delivering the coolest Canadian air of the season with a high around 69 by midweek on Wednesday, with the Wednesday morning low down to 45. It's coming. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
For the lowest prices around on flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies, Budget Floors and More is your new best friend. Luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, floor installation supplies, and more with prices lower than the big box stores. Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey Publix.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Folks, now is the time to track your way to savings with Thompson Tractor, because right now we're offering 50% off on heavy-duty or general-duty compact track loader tracks. Talk about affordable. For a flat rate of just $311, you get your top-quality tracks installed in just 1 day or less at any Thompson Tractor location. Not only that, you get a free, comprehensive inspection during installation. All brought to you by the Parts Service Partner, who's earned your trust since 1957. But hey, don't sleep on this offer. It's only good through September 30th. So get on down to the Thompson Tractor store nearest you, or visit thompsontractor.com for details. Thompson Tractor. We're here.
At the Alabama National Fair, we love our furry friends, and today it's Pet Food Friday. To get in for just $10, bring a donation of dog or cat food for the Humane Shelter. Your $10 ticket also includes parking. Get ready for a Saturday night to remember. Still Cousin will rock the Coliseum stage at 7. Then cap off your fair experience on Monday with School Day. Everyone gets in for $10, and you can snag a wristband for $20. The final weekend of the fair is almost here. Don't let the fun and excitement pass you by. And while here, treat yourself to all the delicious fair food you can handle.
I love to munch down on giant turkey legs, funnel cakes, corn dogs, barbecue, and more.
From mouth-watering eats and thrilling rides to incredible agricultural exhibits and free shows like the Zerbini Family Circus and the Fearless Flores Thrill Show, this year's fair is packed with unforgettable moments. It's Pet Food Friday today and School Day Monday to close out this year's fair. Sponsored by the Kiwanis Club of Montgomery, Coca-Cola, and Hyundai Motor Manufacturing, Alabama.
11 days of fall.
Whitworth Farm Equipment has a qualified and certified mechanic. Gary Baker can do it all. Along with Josh and Gillian, Chera now has the full-service farm center you've been looking for. Your tractor should work as hard as you do and keep working. They're open Tuesday through Friday from 7 till 5 and Mondays by appointment. Whitworth Farm Equipment for all tractor parts, service implements, and trailers. Plus, they now sell pine straw rolls. 285-9977 or visit them at 7458 Deatsville Highway.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back to the program. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Sam. Hey, Sam, how you doing today, sir?
Hey, gentlemen, I'm doing pretty good. I was up riding around Troy a little while ago, and I was going to tell you, first off, for lunch right at noon, I had the, have you seen the ad for the chicken, I want to say Whopper, the chicken Big Mac? That's what I'm trying to say.
No. I saw a TikTok about it. Is it real?
Yeah, it's real. And I customized it. I had them dump a thing of the buffalo sauce and it and the mac sauce. I'm gonna say it worked. It was, it was right at the fat. So there's a lot of traffic. All the storm traffic.
Yeah.
The restaurant was full, and but yeah, it was. I'm just saying it was. I got to admit, for just old fast food, that was. I liked it. So, other thing I wanted to say, as I was circling through Troy, at the intersection of 231, right here in Troy, the intersection of 231 and Elba Highway, which is, I think, Highway 87, there's a truck set up to take hurricane relief supplies. And it's Bonnie Plant Farms that's sponsoring this. It's their trucks. Bonnie Plants, years ago I found it out. They distribute widely. They're all up the East Coast. I was up at Fort Bragg one time with my brother, and ran into somebody I knew here from Banks, Alabama. They were running distributing the plants. Well, they've already got the warehouse. I was talking to the lady taking the hurricane relief. Bonnie, they're using their warehouse that's on the border between South and North Carolina. They already know where they need to go, so they're using their trucks, and they're taking stuff up and distributing it out in a nice, orderly fashion, the way it ought to be, people helping people. I just thought that was wonderful. But, yeah, Bonnie Plant Farms, they're going to have trucks out in different places, but they're accepting relief for the hurricane victims.
Well, I
There you go.
appreciate you telling folks that, Sam.
Appreciate that, Sam.
That's good news, man. All the bad, that's the good. Thanks, guys. Enjoying the show. How about that?
All right,
it,
Sammy.
Sam.
Take care, brother.
This part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services, and their Pest Pro Ashley and the team are ready to help you with any and all your pest control services. If you're looking for a local company where your money's staying here in the area, and, you know, they're always giving back, too.
They do.
But you're also looking for a company that's skilled and trusted, gets the job done right, whether you're looking for a quick one-time, like an emergency job, or you're looking for an everyday pest control company.
That's what you really want.
That is Pest Pro Services. Call them today at 265-9990. That's 265-9990. Or you can always go to ppsriverregion.com or just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces. When you want to know, call a pro. Pest Pro Services. Be sure to tell Ashley, that great team of hers, that Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you. You know, sorry to bring everybody down with the disturbing, you know, porno story, but it is the world we live in. I mean, we can survive with a little lightheartedness. And I was just telling Craig off air that, you know, this conversation that keeps popping up, are these the end times? I find myself at my niece's first birthday party, seeing my brother and his wife raising that little girl. A lot of young couples there. I can't believe it's the end. And maybe that's a, you know, reed thin reason, but it just doesn't. I think we got a lot more to this, and whether it's good or bad, I think there's a lot more to this show ongoing. But we figured it out, gentlemen. We figured out why everybody in this room and everybody on the right, and men in particular, are so fascist these days.
Oh,
we figured it out. Mara Gay, her name's Mara Gay.
Oh,
on MSNBC is going to tell us the truth. Let's listen in.
Is actually for all men. You know, I think men are in crisis, actually, in this country. I think that plays out different ways. And not all men are in crisis, of course. And not all men are just at home listening to Joe Rogan, being angry or being recruited to fascism. Some just need therapy, like we all do. I go to therapy, that's great. But I think we need to have a real conversation about that rather than allowing this kind of drift toward this faux masculinity that we see Donald Trump evincing.
By the way, Mara is Hebrew for bitter.
Ooh. Well, and the fact that it's Miss Gay giving that advice is
bitter
very
gay.
fitting. Yeah.
right.
Wow. And we did a whole show pretty much on this the other week, but it's just amazing that I don't think they understand it.
Yeah.
Like, you're just angry and listening to Joe Rogan. It's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it's like the people that listen to Joe Rogan typically eat well, get in shape, they see through the matrix.
Yeah, and it's all like Joe Rogan had women on his show or talk to women or anything. Except for, you know, his wife and all his daughters and all the women. Like
Twice a week,
Dr. Rhonda Patrick said, it's true. It must be.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway.
Yeah, men need more therapy. Isn't it just so funny that with the rise in popularity in therapy, so has the rise of depression, anxiety, sadness, suicide, all these things.
Yeah.
I don't think that's what we need. I am drawn to the line from the movie, not the book, Fight Club, where Brad Pitt says, "We are a generation of men raised by women. I'm not sure another woman is what we need."
It's a good line.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chuck Palahniuk, as much as he can go to dark places, he's got his finger on the pulse of society.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
I think Fight Club was probably the most prophetic movie or piece of art, I should say, that addressed the decline in maleness better than anything else, I think, because it really started when he wrote the book, but he really called like the existential angst that men were going to face and are facing. And you see what the result of that is in the movie, and that is the catharsis of violence.
Well, and I think what men need at the end of the day is responsibility.
Yeah.
No, the most built-in, most obvious is have a family, be responsible for your family. I think it's most people probably need that. There are other ways, too, of taking responsibility and not just for yourself, but for other people. And as much as it might have its stressors, it's a good type of stress, as opposed to the sort of vague fog-like anxiety of having no cares in the world at all, or just numbing yourself to the drudgery of your life.
What most people are doing.
Accepting the privilege of pressure.
Well,
I think a lot of people could benefit.
In that movie, like in Fight Club, where he's like, and I got this this coffee table, and I like how he just does the inventory of his whole house.
Yeah.
And you know, I've seen like shows where it's like, look at this house or whatever, and houses and like people's space, like the place I stayed in Greenville, like, oh, let's see the way this guy set it up, kind of cool. But like, you're not your coffee table,
right?
You're not your stupid bubble cups. Like you're not any of these things. Like, and I think, yeah, that's not going to cut it, man, in the long run. It should be. It can be a good thing. It's just not a fundamental thing.
No, agreed.
Let's go to this Ray.
Yeah.
I'm Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. Hey, Ray.
Hey, man. How you doing?
Doing good, Ray. How you doing, bro?
Well, doing a lot better. We made it through Atlanta.
Oh, that's awesome. That's amazing. You made it through there. No bubbles, no bumps in the road, no getting robbed, no nothing?
Nope. Up here getting some gas as we speak, almost to Blue Ridge. We're coming up to see Emma this weekend and go to church with them.
Nice.
So Sailor's out of school, so I'm going to play hooky tomorrow. Monday. I won't be there Monday either.
Okay. All right. Well,
But everybody else is working.
You got
So-
David there so we can get some good sales going?
Absolutely. If y'all need a floor, call us 285-8117. I think Monday's a holiday, isn't it?
That's what I've heard. Are we working Mondays? Columbus Day.
Yeah, we're working. We're gonna have Ebony Evans, who's running for
Ooh.
school board on.
Okay, well now you got me excited again.
That'll be a good one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it, but y'all talking about what you're just talking about, like you're not your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite saying, everybody's like, "Oh, is this going to be your forever home?" And I'm like, "No. Everything I have is for sale for the right price.
Yep.
My forever home is in heaven.
Yep.
But until then, no. It's let it come, let it go, enjoy it while you got it. Move on to the next adventure. That's always been my motto.
Amen. Amen. And you still selling flooring there at Prattville Carpet?
Yes, we are. Call us 285-8117, and one of the guys will come out and give you a free measurement.
Again, that number 285-8117, and be sure to tell them you heard Ray on the radio with Joey.
Hey, hang on, what's that? Hey, Angie said to tell y'all hello.
Hey,
hello, Angie.
I said hello. She's just sitting here looking at me blankly.
Yeah, I bet, blankly.
You guys, y'all have a great day.
Thank you, Ray.
Thanks, Ray.
It's probably like, what the heck they got
Oh,
you
she's
talking
got the glare
about?
going on, I can guarantee it.
Yeah, like in the middle of us going on the road. Like, you never stop working. Anyway, did we learn anything today?
Yeah, Joey sucks at food.
What do you mean I suck at food?
Never been hungry?
Never been hungry.
Oh, because I don't want to eat like little cupcakes like you do?
Yes, that's exactly
Pretty much,
right.
yeah.
Do you realize how suspicious that is to ordinary people when you say something like that? Like, oh, what? Oh, I'm crazy because I don't like cupcakes? Yes, you are.
No, I like cupcakes. I don't crave them. Like, so you eat your cupcakes, twirl little scarves around, and
No.
I would eat cupcakes here or there, on a train, on a plane.
Yeah. No, I eat my cupcakes.
I like
and then I
savory
eat the second one.
food.
It's two in a
Sue
pack.
me. Like, what is this?
Yeah, but ¿por qué no los dos? Why not both? Like, have a good steak dinner and then like a couple cheesecake brownies at the end of it.
That would be so good.
Dude.
Cheesecake brownies.
Cheesecake brownies are really where it's at.
I had a really good run in college.
Yeah.
I'll put it that way.
Well,
Real
what kind
good
of brownies were these, Joe?
Yeah. Yeah, Joey.
You can only have so many of those before you start seeing the aliens.
There's DMT in there, I'm telling you, Joe Rogan.
Dude, do you imagine if I would do my regular binges with a pot brownie? It would not go well. Like a whole tray. Oof.
Yeah.
Anyone ever accidentally eat an edible because they thought it was a tasty Rice Krispie treat?
Not accidentally.
I mean, yeah, but it didn't bother me. I was like, oh, okay, well, whatever.
Yeah, it bothered me a lot.
I'm
It was
sorry
a
to
Rice
hear that.
Krispie
Oh, no,
treat.
if you're not expecting it, that could be not a fun
And they hit you
time.
like 2 hours later.
Bonus.
When you're on the way home. I was on my way home and it was like do 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 do.
And on
Kicks in on you.
that psychedelic note, we'll be back on Monday. Greg Vito and Happy Hour. He's next.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM.